the greasiest, the absolute greasiest Philadelphia cheesesteak you could possibly think of, and you're going to clog some arteries. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Saturday night, and we're going to, of course, be jumping into some more Phobies. So let's get in there. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Hope that the start to the weekend is going well for everybody. We're going to be jumping in. We're going to try and take it easy because we were up late last night trying out Multiverse. Well, maybe not trying it out. I guess trying it out is the appropriate way to put it. Playing it a little bit as part of the variety end of the stream, like after the regular hours of the stream. Put in an extended Phobie session yesterday. We'll be playing more today. I don't know whether we'll do late night variety or not. I expect we're going to do Multiverse on Monday, but we'll see how things go. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. We'll start out by playing some games. I did get to try and collate, I'm going to call it data, but honestly it was 10 games, so it's really not a whole lot. I have some ideas for things I want to do, but realistically, there isn't a great way for me to pull the information that I want. I think what I really need, realistically, is for the devs to provide some sort of API in order to scrape data from games so that I can get like a huge amount of information to try and identify trends that I want to look at. Namely, I want to see, okay, Magnificent just came out, right? What are the phobies that show up? What are their win rates? What's the win rate of the first player? What's the win rate of the second player? And of course, we want to only look at maybe Doomsday 3 and up, something like that. Maybe Doomsday and up, I don't know. Probably Doomsday 3 and up. Or cut it off at Sum of All Fears, I don't care. Pick an arbitrary limit and say, okay, everybody's at least this tall to ride this ride. And then we take a look at those games and see what can we glean from them just from looking at the top-down view. Hey, Zoomy, what's good? Just getting started. Just getting started. Just talking about some random things that I've been thinking about. So we're gonna go... I didn't really like the opener that... Well, we're gonna give this another try. I don't really like this. I think this is a mistake, but we're gonna try this. So the idea here is that we swing the cat and the snowball. Like the snowball goes all the way down, and then the cat goes here. But the stats should be different from rank to rank? Exactly. That's why I don't care about the low ones. Realistically, if you're talking about... And I don't want this to sound derogatory. I'm not trying to make it sound like people are terrible or, you know, anything like that. But if you're trying to talk... Okay, I'm attempting to figure out what the strong plays are. Does it make sense to take the low-level games? My argument would be no. Trying something different. If we were here, would that matter? I don't think that matters particularly. That dog, man, that dog gives me PTSD. Snowball's pretty good. Snowball's pretty good. But yeah, Hakunay, I agree with you. The stats are going to be different. Things are going to behave differently based on where you're situated within the different ranks. This wouldn't push it faster to realize stable openings and fixed strats. That is the goal. Now, realistically, people will not... Because there are other factors with this. So, give me 1 second. Let me take this turn, then I'll explain what I mean. So if we go here, I already don't like this. Hold on. We definitely want to do this. I'm trying to sequence things so I minimize the number of undos. So this is... like, this Hevo's gonna die, right? I don't think there was anything else we could have brought out that would have led us to enough damage anyway. This can come across, this can't reach. So this will hit for... probably not enough. Hold on. If you go here... so either you can come here, you could hit... I don't think they're going to send both in to, like, kill the cassowary. They might. We'll see. That's a larger discussion, Hakunay. I think the map rotation plays into it, but inevitably they will stop making maps, right? Like, so no matter what, we will settle into... this is the generally accepted process for map X, Y, or Z. But I don't... but you were championing chess, and chess is the same way. Like, it's the same thing. There's arguably... and I haven't sat and really put much thought into this, but you can make an argument that there are way more viable moves in Phobies than chess. So if chess is not solved, which I guess it is, but for most people it's not, Phobies will never be. Now, the other factor is that people's collections are just plainly always going to factor in. That's not going to change. I don't know if we actually want to do this. Because this is going to do 6, 10, 14, 24. So this is a dead Hevo. That's a dead Hevo. But can we punish them for it is really the question. Well, but we'll go into this discussion after the game because I think there's way more to talk about. But I'm postulating that Phobies is more complex than chess. But Hakunay is exactly right. We have to operate under the assumption that somebody has a full collection eventually. Oh yeah, the Hevo's 100% dead. It was dead before the trap. They could have done like 2,400. I was counting it up. They're just figuring out the optimal way to do the damage now. But I think you have to talk about this stuff in the scenario that everybody has a full collection, or whoever the group is we're talking about has a full collection, maxed Phobies, that sort of thing. Because I do think they are effectively two different games. The one where people are still acquiring things, there are too many variables for anyone to say that, yes, this is how things will normally operate. Like, you just can't figure that out. Because there's too many factors. But if you're talking about a more stable setup, where, okay, we know what people have, then that's a different story. Hold on. What if we... No, game, why does it do this lately? I think we're going to end up with the short end of the stick on this. I was hoping we could get 2 hits off of the what's it called, but I don't think we can. Off the stem. still have to do this. Oh, this is really bad. We gotta get it. No, game. Stop, please. This is what I'm talking about. We're gonna run out of time now. Game, come on. Like, this actually annoyed me, because there were like 6 times there where I attempted to use an ability and it just wouldn't go off. Like, it kept doing the not bees, or it kept doing the not meatball. Which we may be fine anyway, but like, that was frustrating. The thing is that won't be the case for the vast majority of people, Hakunay. Like, maybe at the highest top-tier levels, possibly. But, again, if the argument is, like, is Phobies more or less complex than chess? Like, is that the question? Because if it is, then I think we have wildly different questions to, like, different scenarios to account for. This is 16, huh? So we can do 1,000. There's almost... I guess this is okay. I'm still annoyed by that last turn. Yeah, having to click quickly is not something Phobie supports. Well, it wasn't even click quickly. It was just do the thing that I'm clicking on. Like, that's all I'm asking. Do it the first time, too. Well, I think it's reasonable to compare it to chess, though, Hakunay. Like, I think it is both an appropriate and reasonable comparison for a variety of different reasons. Like, it doesn't have to be, oh, well, this is chess because everybody keeps bringing up chess. It's chess because it's a turn-based strategy game where the goal, or at least one of the goals, is eliminate all of your opponent's pieces. Chess is, you know, well known both through the gaming community and in general. You could make the same argument or discussion about Go, and we have talked about that before. I mean, I don't want the discussion to be, well, is chess a better game than Phobies, or is Phobies a better game than chess? Because there are other factors other than just merely the complexity. Like, yes, complexity matters, but that is not the only factor involved. Like, that's not the only thing you should consider. So I don't think that that is a meaningful discussion. And like I said, we'll tackle this more after this game. I just want to finish this game. Especially since the client apparently is fighting me. I'm fighting both my opponent and the client. I can't believe we're meatballing a droney. Or meatballing a droney. For the record, again, this map is stupid. I don't understand. I don't like this map. Call me a kid if you want, but chess just bores me. Well, the thing is not every game is for everybody, and that's fine. Like, it's fine to not like it. I've also noticed that occasionally if I click something wrong, I get in this pattern where for some reason my rhythm of clicking is just off. I make a bunch of misclicks. The game doesn't... So one thing I've noticed with clicking abilities is, say I clicked a meatball, and I accidentally misclick. I think this is what you're talking about, Doc. You misclick and actually click on their guy. Like, you literally just don't click on the meatball. You click on their guy. It does a regular attack. You undo it. It doesn't always want to pick it up on the second or third try, even if you are consciously, you know, like, it's one of those things you type in your password wrong. Type in your password wrong. So you do this, you know, like, like pecking at the keys, and it's that sort of thing that I do sometimes, but it still doesn't want to pick up the ability. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's a bug, if it's just simply psychological. It's probably the latter, but it's just something I've noticed. It can absolutely be infuriating in arena like this. And I think, speaking of infuriating, we've tilted our opponent off the face of the earth. Yeah, we definitely tilted him. Hey, what's good? Welcome. Playing some Phobies. We're actually going to get into a big esoteric discussion about chess in a moment, so... Even after that, yeah, like... I'm telling you, I think Phobos is the worst map in the game. Far and away. I don't know if it's actually as bad as I think it is, but it feels atrocious. I think we just get them, but I'm repositioning things so that way I can kill it next turn if we don't. GG. Like I said, we probably tilted our opponent. Because that one turn, we just didn't even take a turn, basically. That will happen once we get Arena, Luffy. Like, seriously, that will happen. So, to bring you up to speed on what Phobies is a turn-based card game. So there are cards, but they aren't cards. It's really more of a miniatures tactics game, hence the chess comparison, which we'll get into in a moment. The idea is that each turn you'll generate a static amount of resources called keys, and based on whether it's a small or large map, you'll both begin with, generate, and have a larger collection of keys with which you summon Phobies, which are these little monsters, and there are more. The album shows everything you've seen. These are stress unlocks, which you get by leveling up your account. My Phobies are obviously my Phobies. Each of these are little monsters. They have different abilities. Some of them have literally no abilities, like they're just stat sticks, such as the standard Razor Mouth, but they vary all the way up to, we'll say, 9 keys, where you can get things like Smother Mother, where you get displacement effects, you get AoE effects, you get different buffs and debuffs, and a variety of different things. And the game is awesome. It's pretty much perfect information with the exception of what your opponent has in their collection and what their next plays are going to be. Once collections are full and everybody has everything unlocked and leveled up, because there is a leveling system, it'll be more perfect information. But there's a lot of depth to the game. I really like it. Thing is, in some of all fears we already have, if not the best good openings, and it becomes harder because you can choose different strategies, traps, hard strategies, pushes, exactly. And I don't think that's problematic. So to finish up the stuff for Luffy, yeah, I do plan on bringing that back, because I used to have that when I was doing both Mythgard and Runestrike, to challenge the streamer for some amount of channel points, but I haven't right now, because honestly, I think it's just going to be miserable to do it in frenemies right now. I think it'll just be absolutely miserable in order to try and conduct the game on stream. If we have Frenemies Arena, I think that'll be way more interesting, just like keeping the pacing going. I think going in and out, in and out, in and out to try and do the game is just going to be obnoxious, but... Finnegan, Slammerhead, and Ramboline are my favorite Phobies on Phobos. I let my opponent do whatever for as many turns as it takes for me to get Finnegan plus Ramboline on the board, then it looks for some combination of boops to make my opponent rage quit. I mean, it's a good way to make people rage quit. I think you do need multiple boops or a pull and a boop. I don't think a single one is good enough. Out of context, that paragraph reads very funny. The boops are stream slang for displacement effects, specifically a push. So Rambolina here is Ramalamia, and when it hits, it does an AoE pushback, as compared to Yoinks, which, as you'd imagine, they are pull displacement effects. But also the names are funny. There's a lot of pop culture references and inside jokes like cowbell. I've got a fever. You know, you'll get the joke. AWOL, the game is afoot because it's a giant toe. It's funny. You have to have multiple, and one of them has to be Rambolina. I kind of agree, Doc, because otherwise I just don't think it comes together. I think in place of Slammerhead or Finnegan, you could do it with a construction phobie like Gravedigger or Crushmore, because then you can drop a statue and then do the same thing, like create blocks to boop them. The movement 3 is super important to do that. So, yeah, movement 3 is huge. Otherwise, yeah, I think you're going to run into too much difficulty. The Arena Frenemies duels would certainly make a lot of things way easier. Would need to make a live Twitch altering things fairly expensive, I guess. Because someone can just get lucky in gambling and make next 2 hours dueling them. True. True. If somebody scores a whole bunch of channel points, I think it would be fine. I could just put a cooldown on it on the back end. Like, you can't... I can set it on the channel points, or I'm pretty sure that I can, that you can't redeem it more than X number of times per hour or something like that. Which I would probably not do that initially and then just get a feel for it. If it turns out, yeah, somebody is going to put in 35 of them, I'm going to say, no. Make it redeemable up to 5 times per stream. I thought there was a time limit as well, but I haven't looked into it because it hasn't really been necessary up to this point. Chat, let's get into the first esoteric rant of the evening. So we're back to the chess discussion. So first thing off the bat, we have discussed Phobies versus chess, or comparing Phobies to chess, and I think there are a lot of things that you can kind of draw direct correlations between, one-to-one, between the two. Just as I was describing this just a moment ago to some people that are hanging out, they're not new to the stream, but new to Phobies. The game is a turn-based strategy game. There's very little hidden information, and right now, depending on the scenario we're talking about when we're talking about Phobies, as in, are we talking everybody has full collections? Well, then there's not really hidden information other than levels. And if you're talking full collection, full levels, then there is no hidden information. Everybody knows, right? Everybody knows what everyone has. Whether you can remember it all or map out all of the different strategies, yeah, that's a different story. So, is this problematic? No. I mean, chess has existed, Go has existed, and people still play them, and guess what? Not everybody's very good at those games. You could play either of those games for lifespans and still not be as good as other people. Part of it's talent, part of it's just the work ethic, because, like, if you only play chess once a month, guess what? You're not going to be as good as somebody that plays it every day. And it's going to be the same for Phobies. Now, I think it's important to level the discussion at full collection, full Phobies, because before that, it's a crapshoot. Anybody could have anything. Anybody could have anything at any given level. If somebody has level 20 squiggles already, how the hell you did that, I have no idea. But if you have a level 20 squiggles, yeah, you're probably just causing cardiac arrest every game. You're going in there, and you're forcing some heart transplants every time, forcibly. Like, you're going in there, and you are the greasiest, the absolute greasiest Philadelphia cheesesteak you could possibly think of. And you're going to clog some arteries, because Squiggles is just going in there and causing problems. But, here's the thing. And I disagree with you there, Hakunay. I disagree with you there, because I don't know that anybody cares about what the general strategies are going to be when you're at max level as compared to now, because we are so far away. And I also disagree that people will eventually remember everything, because they don't for other games. They just don't. On top of that, the complexity of board states inherently makes it more difficult. Now, at any given point in time, you're only looking at either 5 or 7 Phobies on the board, which decreases the number of potential moves that your opponent could have compared to chess, But at the same time, you can move all the Phobies, so then it might be more. It's not quite. I'm not even sure that's true, Hakunay, because if that were true, the games get decided on turn 1, effectively, and I don't think that will be the case. Games can be, and Phobies will be, very deterministic. You will be able to tell that if people don't make mistakes, so we're probably talking the asyncs of the world, where if people played an async game, they sat down, 2 people, they sit down, they go to play an async game, but neither of them leave until the game is completed, so that you don't have, oh, well, I forgot they did this, I didn't bother to review the game. You know, you have as much time as you want, complete the game, pretend nobody has to eat or ever use the restroom. Even in those scenarios, somebody will outplay someone else. 99.9% of the time. Could it be that the maps are imbalanced, like we just saw with Phobos? Yes. And that's where the map rotation, keeping things fresh, changes things. It's another reason that I also personally prefer Arena to Async. That completely removes the issue that we're describing. If we assume that, yes, there are enough people that are good enough at the game, invested enough in the game, and they've met all these criteria of full collection, full level of Phobies, all that kind of stuff. People have put in that much time and energy into Phobies. Great. How are their games decided? Well, if it's luck, who goes first, and it's the map, that's problematic. But I expect that people are still going to outplay each other or take calculated risks or just catch someone off guard because we're all human. We don't play perfect all the time. Maybe there will be somebody who shows up in the game and does that. I don't expect that to be the case. It's going to take a long, long time for people to even get to remotely resembling that level. I also don't feel that, as mentioned before, that the top players currently, maybe they have, but I don't know how many of them have actually sat down and analyzed, well, how relevant is Minotaur if my opponent starts with X, Y, and Z? And that even assumes that people are just going to default into, if A is the best opener on Phobos, let's say, you should always do A, it gives you the best chance to win. And then B turns out to, okay, well, this is your response to A. Why is player 1 or player 2 not doing something different at any point to throw their opponent off? Like, there are different ways that you can possibly attack it unless it actually does break down those ways. But here's the other component that changes things. The game can be modified. When was the last time, somebody could go look this up on Wikipedia, when was the last time the rules for chess were changed? I'm going to give you a hint. It was probably not in the last 100 years. It's going to be a while back. If you are playing Phobies and it turns out that things are static, things are stale, then you'll end up having the ability to just modify things. And that's what it comes down to. So I don't think we will realistically ever be in a scenario where the vast majority of the people play a specific way and there's no alternative. Or the worst scenario, that they play a specific way, there's no alternative, and it's no fun. Because ultimately, while we can argue about whether these things are important or whether they're relevant or even real, or hypothetically real in the future, none of that matters. It's a game, it's supposed to be enjoyable. If people are having fun smashing their creepy little monsters together, that's all that matters. If you sit down in the park and play chess with somebody, whether you're good, bad, or otherwise, it matters whether you were enjoying that game or getting out of it whatever you want to get out of it. That's what matters, realistically. So I don't think there's ever really a concern with any of this. To bring it back to the original, and I know there's other comments in chat, so I'll take a look in a second. I'm just trying to get all this out before it slips out of my head like usual. To bring it back full circle to the original comment about trying to analyze players' openings and other strategies, I think personally, and I understand why other people would feel differently, that it is good to shortcut that stuff. I am fine with that. I do that, and I've always done that in other games. Clearly, the Phobies developers are fine with that existing anyway, because they provide replays, so this is possible. It would be nice if there was an easier way, if I could just get like a text printout of what turns what happened, or an API or something like that. But I would prefer that so that people can improve if they want to put in the time and energy. That will, by definition, push other people out, because if people are improving and winning more, somebody else has got to lose more. Hopefully the player base keeps growing so that it evens out a little more than it would otherwise, but I don't personally have a problem with that. I can understand why other people would. And if you do, you're watching this on YouTube, let me know down in the comments, or come by the live stream for more of my random ramblings. RTChompGG over on Twitch. What's chat saying? Sometimes I won like turn 4 or 5 because I simply killed all the openings of my opponent's phobies. I mean, yeah. If the state and action spaces are big, after pruning obviously bad things, you'll never get a perfect play in human time. Exactly. Like, that's a discussion that I've had while streaming Phobies, but about other things. I'm not going to live forever, and maybe if we did, we'd all be able to do this. But most people are not going to be able to put in the time in order to become the best Phobies player in the world. There's not a whole lot of incentive to do it other than for funsies, right? So, if that's the case, look, everybody's got real life stuff going on. There are going to be other factors that are playing in. Then you get the chess situation. Yes, human brain won't be able to take into account everything. You basically always play with suboptimal plays. I mean, that sounds like a really strong game to me. That, yes, you're pushing the limits of human ability, and maybe there's, the best chess player in the world or the best Phobies player in the world are they better because they can just memorize more scenarios? Maybe they just intuitively know these things. I haven't read up on chess in a while, so I don't know what is really the driving factor behind their success or not. And I would imagine the same sort of things would translate to Phobies. But to me, that sounds like a great game. Is just, okay, well, I didn't play 100% perfect. I'm chasing perfection. But there's no other, and again, in this scenario, we're talking full collections, full levels. There's no other factor where it's roll of the dice, flip of the coin, the top card of my deck that is screwing me over, which realistically, it's probably my skill holding me back, but like, it's just one less thing to worry about. But here's the thing then, the future of the game is uncertain, or you wait to get everything and try to be as deterministic like in chess, or taking another direction where it becomes maybe dependable on your level and inventory. So that is a problem I have in general, Hakunay. And we've talked about this before. This may be segueing into a separate discussion. We'll see where this goes. But my biggest problem with Phobies is the economy. And based on comments made officially by the dev team, specifically Boss, in response to the full disclosure update, the original Phobie level was never intended to be capped at 20. I'm paraphrasing here. And again, I'm part of the content affiliate program, just throwing it out there, but this is public information. This is not like, I don't know anything behind the scenes about this, and if I did, I wouldn't be talking about it. Just putting that out there. But Boss said that the original Phobie level was never intended to be 20. It was always supposed to be 30. But the way it was worded, and again, I'm paraphrasing, so I don't remember the exact wording, it sounded like basically we're going to get a level increase every time that there's a new set of Phobies released. Which, I really don't like that. Like, that's problematic to me. And if that's the case, then yes, it kind of solves this issue also, because inevitably there will always be somebody with higher level Phobies. I mean, unless you're the one guy who has them all high level, but if somebody has, again, a level 65 Gonzo Bonzo, whenever we hit that point, guess what? He's going to crap on your level 31. It's just going to boop on it. So what are you going to do? And that is something. Now, if they ever introduce tournament mode, trust me, I'm probably going to be playing that all the time. I'm not even going to care about the rest of the stuff most of the time, if I can help it, but we'll see. Even with stochastic processes, you'll probably typically still have optimal play results true for any game. Exactly. I agree with that. In classical chess right now, GMs may end up memorizing the first 20 or 30 or even 40 moves of different perfect combinations and trick their opponent with the first top engine moves. I don't want that in this game. Why is that, Hakunay? Because how is that significantly different than people winging it and just stumbling on it? You know what I mean? Got some upgrade cards from Jack, 4 more cards, and I can upgrade my jar. Nice, Scrungle, what level? But you've also got GM still playing E4 despite Alpha Zero and whatnot playing C4. I don't remember my chess notation enough to know what that actually means. I mean, this basically, if we extrapolate this, that top chest sounds the same as top 100 Hearthstone when I first played it. So it basically comes down to jar level 7. Nice. The jar levels are big. This basically comes down to, are we okay? And it's abstracting. We're now going from like the 50,000 foot view. We're all the way out at like the moon. We're starting to reach out farther into the galaxy because we're pulling back to abstract this even more. Are people okay with people playing optimally? Because honestly, a lot of the situations come down to, no, the discovery phase, like finding the optimal plays, is the fun part of the game for me. And that's fine. It's not for me. I hate that part. I just want to do the optimal stuff. I don't care if I'm going through the motions. Yes, I'm excited when I discover, oh wow, this is a really cool thing that I can do on this map, or I can set up this scenario. No, I just want to do the optimal stuff. That's why I play, when I play card games, I'm testing to find the good deck, or the one that's the answer, but I don't want to play crap. It's the same reason that I don't want to play, because I've been asked a few times, why don't I do challenge games on stream? Like, don't use anything 4 cost or higher, because that's boring to me. Like, I don't want to do that. If I have Hydra, which I don't, and I determine Hydra's really good in this scenario, I want to use Hydra. I don't want to handicap myself for no apparent reason. So now that is not to say that is the appropriate or correct way to look at the game or any game. Enjoy games however the hell you want. But like, some people want A and some people want B, and they're going to pursue those avenues in the game. And as a result, it's just the way it's going to work out, basically. Like, I'm allowed to enjoy the game in the way I enjoy it, as long as I'm not, like hacking or something like that. And you are allowed to enjoy the game in the way you want to, in the same way. And that's the way it works. Because if you start winning and you play first, you start win and you... I'm not sure what you're trying to say by that, Hakunay, but if you start win and you play first 40 perfect engine moves, how high chances you have to respond for 40 perfect moves as well? You know what would make the game always interesting? At some point you have Phobie rotation. I don't like that idea. The reason for I don't like Phobie rotation, I think map rotation is fine, because you can absolutely engineer maps, especially if they make them asymmetric. Asymmetric maps, like, think about that for a second. But the problem with rotating phobies is that there's clearly supposed to be a relationship between certain phobies. Maybe we haven't identified all of them yet, but there's clearly supposed to be a relationship between certain phobies as answers to certain things, or if the perfect response is this, and then this phobie rotates out, well, guess everybody's screwed. Like, that's the scenario that would feel real bad. I think rotating maps and then just prioritizing certain phobies because of the way the map works is fine. You know what we haven't seen, for example? If you look at the maps, we don't have a lot of maps with a 4... I don't think there are any maps with a 4 cluster of obstacles, where, like, it's 2 and 2. Point being is it's 2 deep obstacles, so that you can't hit something with a normal lob. You need a 3 lob. The reason for that is you could set up corridors, for example, and then a Hydra has to get, or Cerberus has to go one-on-one against whatever it is. Obviously, you could have something standing in front and then a range phobie behind, but, like, you get the idea. There's a whole... Map configuration is enormous, and there's a lot of different things that they could do with maps alone, and I look at StarCraft for this because it is speed chess taken to the extreme, because there is a component of just moving faster, higher APM than your opponent, or Warcraft, any RTS. It's a turn-based strategy, air quotes, but real time. I know that sounds weird, but the idea is you're doing speed chess, speed go, I guess, and the speed is the emphasis. And there are mistakes that will be made because you can pressure your opponent in certain ways, just like you can do that, like we talked about the other night, with chess if there are clocks. You make the board complex so your opponent can't think through and identify all of the optimal plays at at that given point in time. And it forces them to utilize more time than they should be doing. Those games, those RTSs, yes, they have balance patches, and yes, they change things, but primarily, and including for things like StarCraft 1, who has not had a balance patch in decades, they balance things through the map pool. They change matchups between the 3 races in the game, Protoss, Zerg, and Terran, by the map pool. Now, there are other limitations with the game technologically that cause weird things to happen, and the reason and the rise of certain strategies, because, you know, like control groups don't exist, and you can only move so many units at a time, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the physical APM component. But the idea is that the maps play in such an enormous amount that it can drastically, dramatically, and incredibly modify any given matchup or game just by existing. So I think that is... I don't think Phobies will need to do a Phobie rotation. And that's before you consider new Phobies coming into the mix. Like, just the infusion of new Phobies. The fact when Attractor and Repeller and Innoculus showed up, and we haven't even really seen that much Boolean, or there's stress Phobies we haven't seen yet. Like, there's a lot of things that could get really wild. The community alter SC2 to this day. Blizzard consistently implements maps that are fan-made and win fan votes, and Blizzard approved incredibly fun and unique experiences because of it. Exactly. And I think the map approach will be... Like, imagine if chess just straight up got a new board tomorrow. Like, all of the strategies go out the window, right? And you have to recreate everything from the ground up. Now, Phobies, I think because of the way that the games interact, is probably quicker to solve despite all the other stuff, but it's still like, I don't know, I can't believe at this point in time, truthfully, like, this is my own opinion, obviously, that we're anywhere near the ceiling for Phobies yet. Babe, wake up, there's a new chess update, exactly. But seriously, I don't know that Phobies needs a whole lot more right now. I could see where there are things that are going to have to happen in order to make Phobies, like, if they were to suddenly cap everybody at max, I think, like, the biggest thing for keeping people interested in Phobies is the thing I hate the most, the collection aspect. People want to collect things. The biggest thing in card games, and Phobies is a card game, the biggest thing is the collection aspect. Once people, most people, and when I say most, I really do mean that, and there's a lot of data to back this up. I don't have it, but you know, you can listen to any major organization in the card gaming world and they'll say stuff like this. Once people have a full collection, they almost tend to drop off, because that is the major thing. Because the gameplay does end up getting repetitive, they just want to collect a lot of stuff when you're super serious about it, because it gives them this other carrot to chase. Scrabble Battle Royale exists. That I feel like I've heard about that. Fisher created a variant that randomized the back row behind the pawns. Interesting. Okay. That's an interesting variant, Bughouse. I've never heard of that before. I think that's why, that's exactly, I mean, part of it is monetary, but like Magic set the pace and now that is the standard. But I've talked to people and I played games that have legitimately had 6-month expansions, and believe me, people checked out. You need the quarterly, or I guess it's it's about every 3 months, maybe every 4 months. Every 4 months, you need an expansion, because otherwise people lose interest, in all seriousness. Now, Phobies, because of the leveling and stuff, there's an extra rail, so it forces people to continue interacting just to get full value. Like, if I unlock Finnegan, it's useless until I get upgrade cards. So effectively, I get excited twice, because it's like, oh, I got a new Phobie. Oh, I can't use it yet. 2 weeks from now, hey, I finally got Finnegan up to a level that's reasonable. I can use it now, so I get excited again. It has that treadmill. My time playing RuneStrike did drop off once I had everything. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to, is like a lot of it is grinding to get resources to get the new toys. With lots of time pressure. I mean, that variant sounds wild, that Bughouse thing. If you're saying the time pressure for chess, yeah, that sounds ridiculous. It sounds cool, but that's wild. I should probably add on to my theoretical cryptid expansion by probably creating Mothman or something. I got Brony, I can use Brony. True, there's some that you get to use right away. There's some that you get to use right away. In chat, I'm dying already. It's still early in the stream. I'm going to have to get some water soon, so what we're going to do is we can come back to this discussion, so feel free to keep going in chat. And by the way, YouTube, if you made it this far, shout out to you, first of all. Second of all, the likes and subscribes really do help. Got to get that in there. In all seriousness, they really do. I'm trying to push for 1,000 subs. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. 3, come by the live stream, RTChompGG, if you want to hear me ramble. But let me know in the comments how you feel about any of this stuff. The discussions in general, these particular discussions, whatever. Let me know. We're looking at. So we're looking at this one, actually. Our hero here is in the orange trunks. It's Bozo. We're zoning into Magnificent. It's true, Luffy. You weren't all there in the beginning. So we get a Murder Wing into cat opener. I'm not sure about Murder Wing as an opener yet. It's probably not vulnerable. Because you would need, like, I don't know, a super high-level Spud and a super high-level Jar, and I don't think that's realistic. You said a highlight as well? I did see that. We're going to do that a little later on. We'll probably do that after I come back from break. I need more water, and I got to get up for a second because I'm sweating to death. I'm telling you, chat, I got to find a way to get the fans on and get some air circulation while I'm streaming. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm dying. Like, well, I'm going to have to turn the camera off and just go shirtless or something because this is gross. We're getting kind of a standoffish build-up, but this is interesting because Bozo is just like, this is a 3-0 panic point advantage on a fairly large map, and you can't push in here very easily. At least not very easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Phobies. Banks to 7 on both sides. Get a cassowary follow-up. Probably just setting up damage here to facilitate a dive. I'm not a huge fan of this Murder Wing positioning. Granted, if... Actually, the Cyclops... This is an almost 2k health Cyclops, so... You go here with Cyclops. Oh, no, you need to get rid of this. If they can clear the Bachelor somehow, there's no way. Yeah, if they go in to try and kill this Murder Wing, they probably... They're going to lose their own Murder Wing for sure. Possibly the Cyclops. Probably the Cyclops. This will be 4, 10, 15. Plus a follow-up. Like, this is possibly dead. Go for the shirtless subs, get naked, and go inside a barrel. Hot tub stream when? People were really into that for a while. They wanted me to do a hot tub stream. I'm like, I'm just going to Photoshop the hot tub on screen. Isn't there a comedian whose shtick is being shirtless? I'm confident that's true somewhere. Cold tub stream? Yes, that sounds like a much better idea right now. Nice tub full of ice. I know I'm not really saying much about the game because we're just staring at each other for the most part. Like, there's not a whole lot going on here. Oh my god, chat, I'm dying. I might actually disintegrate. Does anybody remember the Adam West Batman? Where all the bad guys get together, so it's Joker and Penguin and Riddler and I forget who else, and they dehydrate all of their henchmen and turn them into dust. So then they, like, get the dust somehow in the Batcave and then put a drop of water on it and then they instantly turn into the henchmen again or something like that. I haven't seen it in years, and, like, obviously ridiculous concept, but that's kind of what I feel like right now. So we're getting matching Quagmires, which, by the way, this is actually something to comment on the game and on this map in general. That this might be another good Quagmire/alligator map, because they can just stand here and kind of ignore the lava, at least a little bit. So, for example, this Quagmire, 1, 2, 3, 4, can get on this tile, or, you know, respectively this tile, and then you get a better staging point to do this stuff. Wet a top sheet and wrap it around you. Yeah, I mean, I could do that, like ice towels and stuff. But I'm not looking to, like, make my chair soaking wet, too. Well, I guess if I'm sweating to death, I'm probably doing that in a gross way anyway. Let that one linger for a little while. So anyway. Anyway, we finally get a little bit of violence happening here. Looks like we're getting a dive on this Cyclops. Is this a dead Cyclops? It is. What was the board state? I don't know why. Like, why did this Cyclops have to be on this tile? Did they kill the Stairmaster here? Need to actually pay attention to the game. Quagmire's really good. Okay, so we end up trading Stairmaster for Cyclops. Roughly even. Because we advance forward after that last turn, and then now, whoa. We probably want to let this turn play out, because there was some weird stuff that I just saw on the board. So we just saw Stairmaster go down. We get an invade. We have to get some sort of retaliation to force the Cyclops to pay for its sins. The thing here, though, is while the Quagmire's on the lava, and that's not that big of a deal, and you do get a recap on the point due to the Cassowary, this is on the lava, the Cassowary's clearly going to die, but there doesn't seem to be a good way for blue in order to punish the Gin Sting, and we get an Innocuous follow-up. So this is a pretty good invade, despite what appeared to be an even trade. An even trade 5 for 5. It actually favors our orange player because they have a much better position in order to square off from. Now, if Meatball was online, there could have been some more trade-offs, like you could have killed the Murder Wing, you know, dive in, send the Cowbell after it or something, but you obviously would have lost it in return. And we're going to get a Noxious in order to aid the Cowbell to flip 2 panic points, and now it's 4-1 blue. But our orange player is not in a terrible position in order to fight this. Just the Noxious is going to make life complicated, we'll say. Is this a new thing? So Phobies has been out for a little while. You can get it on Steam. It's on mobile. It's been out since March or so. If people refer you with their in-game code, they get stuff and you get stuff, I think. So chat might be able to help you out with that. I think there's a top... I think I've used all my referrals. Nox is about to do some goofing. Maybe not so much. Like, so we get the... Since I was explaining that stuff, we get a retreat here. Effectively, you know, we're going to beat up on the Cowbell, of course. I don't know about leaving this Murder Wing here. It probably didn't need to happen. Like, I'm not going to go back and check, but I feel like a hit from this and a single Murder Wing hit would have been fine, and then you could have repositioned the Murder Wing if you wanted to. I also don't necessarily like this. I guess the idea is you don't want Innocuous where the Cyclops is in fear of an invade with Hevo. So the Innocuous is pretty safe back here, but it's also doing nothing. I think the Innocuous needed to end up by the heart. So we get the poison that eliminates the 1 key that was here, gets the Noxious. 10 keys for our hero, 12 for our blue player. And we get a cap up top, stem some of the bleeding. We're looking, I always do this, flashbang. 38-25 on the heart. Yeah, hit up the Discord. You'll find a lot of information about a lot of people talking about the game. So we get Alistor and Blinky to follow up. Blinky's tanky enough. Do we have the Spit back online? So we don't have Spit back online. We have a protected Innocuous. This is where Bozo is kind of taking over the board. 12 keys from our blue player, though, so they can still do something, but they can't threaten from this position. They weren't maxed out on Phobie, so I don't understand, like, why are you banked at 12 for so long? Well, I guess they played the Hevo. I don't know, it felt like our blue player banked for a very long time and didn't need to. I know I'm skipping around. So it looks like Blinky's gonna get killed for free, but that means that things are very much in range of the existing stuff from our orange player. Now, the sheep follow-up, real talk, I've been seeing a lot of sheeps on this map. I was doing this offline, and I can talk about it later, but I saw a lot of sheeps on this map from a lot of high-level players. And I'm very curious, because there were also unique play patterns with the sheep. But as you'd imagine, we're going to get some beats going down on this Hevo. We're going to see a dead Hevo. Panic point advantage is orange. This is bold? No, the poison's not up. So this Alistor is probably just not in range of death. This is pretty tanky, the Cyclops and the Alistor. Granted, so is this Alligator. And we get some Quagmire on Quagmire beats going down in the top. When a sheep goes pew. This map has no healing points, so you're forcing your opponent to vest into heals. Yes, Clinico is another thing that I've commonly seen, but I've seen it even in, not in response to a sheep. I've just seen a lot of sheeps naked, like no Clinico response, and I've seen sheeps against Clinicos, and I've seen Clinicos without sheeps. It's weird. Definitely different. So both players are out of keys at this stage. But our orange player, they're both down panic points right now. They have a poison Cyclops, which is not long for this world, and they're only at 3,600 health on their heart. They need to make something happen, and fast. Now, realistically, the sheep is not long for the world either, but it is a positive key trade in favor of our blue player. But if the Quagmire goes down, honestly, like, there's not much for our blue player here. I mean, yes, there's a Noxious and a Murder Wing. I'm not counting Alligator because it's isolated here. They're going to be able to collapse on it. Because well, they can run it away, I guess. I'm trying to pause it so I can click on it. 2,200 health. Alright, so the Alligator's kind of safe. I think what you need to do as orange here is eliminate this Quagmire and just pick off their team one at a time. You can actually, yeah, I was going to say you can probably safely take this with Alistor. Even if you get the Noxious Spit, you're going to be able to probably tank through the poison. So yes, we do get the takedown up here. In fact, you even get the reclaim. Bozo doing this pretty well. A lot of my opponents keep investing 3 keys into Clinico when they need more damage instead of healing a Sparky Stabby on a map. Do you mean Bo Mangle / Stabby? Because Sparky is probably worth keeping. That's a 7 key investment, but then it's also a 10 key investment, so. I agree, Hakunay. Like, the idea, or one of the goals in each game is to try and force your opponent into a scenario. Like, push them into, oh, well, they'll likely take this response, and therefore I am prepared to deal with said response. So we got a takedown on Noxious, big shock. This Inoculus has gotten a lot of value. This isn't even that high of a level. This is like level 4. Yeah. I can tell because I remember the 436 damage. That's a bold move there, Scrungle. At this point, we only have a few turns left. Our blue player might have been better served just trying to dive the heart. I don't think they would have made it, truthfully, because there's not a lot of surface area to get into position to hit the heart to begin with. Before you even consider that there's lava and there was a whole bunch of bad guys there waiting for you. But a lot of panic points are orange. We're not going to see a retake to even get a majority blue on this turn, even if it were to matter. 3,100 health here, by the way. Get the little flex damage, because you love to see it. It's pretty much all downhill from here. It's just going to be Bozo pressing the advantage, eliminating what they can, recapping points, etc. The sole survivor in Murder Wing, likely to not go the distance, folks. this was pretty cool. A pretty good display on this map, controlling the board as Bozo was describing. So shout out to Bozo, thanks for submitting this game. It's good to get these replays out here. At least I'm doing it on stream, although I know people are going to, by the time they see it on YouTube, the map will already be known. Well played, GG. So YouTube, if you're out there, let me know what you think about this game. What do you think our blue player could have done differently? Or chat, for that matter. What do you think they could have done differently? Because it felt like it kind of started to go downhill with that Cyclops invade. That there was, from there, they were, I don't want to say panic, but it felt like they needed to do things that they probably didn't want to do. It felt like they were trying to do things that they didn't want to do. It could have just been Phobie levels also. I mean, that is always a factor, but it felt like, you know, like, when I say Phobie levels, I'm saying that our blue player chose to do X or Y because they felt their Phobies were under-leveled, or, you know, there's some relationship between the Phobie levels, so therefore this move was more valuable than that move. Did I reach the gold season pack? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. I actually did earlier this week, and then I forgot that I did. We have exactly one day, at least at this point in time. I should play some more games because I didn't hit my gold weekly reward. How's everybody doing out there tonight? What do you guys think about the new maps? Do you like Pluto and Magnificent? Either with respect to Phobos or just in general? Alright, so we're back on Billy's room. I just don't do well on this map as of late. I'm telling you, I'd love to see map statistics. You know what? We're gonna go with Stabby Opener. I don't think I've tried that on this map. We are giving up a bunch of tempo by doing this, but we'll see. I like Pluto. Magnificent is boring. I like Magnificent, but Pluto feels hard. It's funny that those are back-to-back. Pluto feels hard in a very... I don't think it's as bad as Phobos, but it feels rough. Like going first, going second kind of thing. Yeah, there's no Abyss on these two maps. Are you thinking of Phobos? Pluto is the Phobos looking, or it looks like Crypto, the small one. Sheeping gas, huh? So if they send the sheeping gas in, we should be able to punish it. We can hit it with a jar or snowball. Wait, we probably want to do this then, because then snowball can occupy this space. We'll hit it twice with this, once with this, and then a snowball or cast where it like I don't think they can safely send sheep in. Is the point? It applies to many things there, Scrungle. So what do we got here? How do we deal with this? I'm not sure what their follow-up will be here. This is a dead cat, but I don't... Yeah, I don't even know that it's worth killing it, because then, like, this can... maybe not, because it would end up here. Okay, we can't kill the newly dead. Like, that's not going to happen, so... This is 1200 health. It's a level 10 unicorn. That's actually pretty damn big. It's pretty big. So they can't go in, they have to take one of these points, and honestly, what I should have done instead of the jar was a 1 key, or something small to retake this point, because they're just going to recap this. Yeah, like, this was expected, and there was no reason to give them this, or the middle one, like, either of them, but this is the safer one for them. So we'll end up trading something valuable here if they come in, but we're going to get more value through killing the sheep, I think. Like, if they go after this or this, they could actually kill the cowbell. Hold on. So we're doing it this way. They can still hit it with the sheep, but the idea is that they can't now hit it with the unicorn, which is fine. They can't kill the stabby with the sheep. We'll counter-kill the sheep, and then we could just heal it with, like, a muffin. So this is probably putting a trap here, I would imagine. Temptress, really? Why? Just so they can AoE? It does 50% on the electrical, right? So it's not gonna... It'll do like 300 and change. No, we don't want to do that. It'll get hit by the Temptress and then die. I was expecting beauty, yeah. I don't really understand the Temptress here. So we got rid of one of the traps, but like I said, there's probably one here, which I will forget about in a minute, but, you know. You got it there, friend. I doubt there's one on the panic point, but I guess it's not impossible. Our opponent's at 7 keys banked, so that's a lot. The opponent could have suicided the sheep by poisoning Stabby, and you could not save Stabby because you already have 5 Phobies out. I think I'm okay with that if they do that. As someone that has Temptress is probably there to kill your jar, I mean, they could try. I doubt this is enough damage. I'm just gonna try it. Like, I don't want to sit here and count this and then run out of time. It's actually likely faster for me to just do this. Yeah. Almost, but not quite. So we do have to back off the jar because we're not going to be able to fight that there. I was debating too much. I should have just gone for Pterodactyl off the bat like I was thinking about, but I changed my mind. Barzilla, I was considering it, and then I'm like, yeah, they still have 6 keys left. But yeah, we could have had the Pterodactyl in position to already beat this up. I think we can kill this now. Maybe not. Because this will only be... It's only hitting with these three. Again, if we had Pterodactyl in position, we could have got it, but no. Hey, Rock Swan, what's good? Is there an app where you can train yourself in doing quick math? I could have used that in grade school. I've never been good at doing... Wait, This is one of the things you don't say on stream, but, like... I'm pretty good at math, but I am not great at arithmetic. Especially doing it quickly. So they can go on the stim and then just off our murder wing. Like, is the extra 300 damage worth it? Probably not. They probably just kill our stabby here, right? I think that's their safest play. They could come down here and damage this. Risk getting it killed for what that's worth. I expect them, honestly, to back off. I don't see why. Because, like, I have to commit something somewhat valuable in order to recap some of these points, so... So they're all far back enough that, like, this seems fine. Like, am I actually in danger of anything here? You can hit with this, and that's it? No, game. I'm struggling with the clicks today, chat. And they can't really reach anything. Yes, we've accomplished nothing over the last couple turns because this thing's basically full health again. Alright, so Stabby's probably dead, which at this point is like, okay. Your opponent's playing weird stuff, that's for sure. That is truth. We can probably kill both of these. Because we jar to clear this, then this hits, and then this hits. Or Murder Wing, for that matter. I mean, Stabby's dead, but if we get 8 keys worth, then I'll take it. So if we go here... It's 5, 10... We'll say 15, 16... Like, I don't think they can kill this. If they can, they got me, and I'm gonna feel really stupid, but... I don't see how they kill it with what they have available and only 3 keys. Like maybe I'm thinking a Murder Wing comes out because a jar can't reach. Trading sheep for Stabby is odd. A lot of people do that, or used to. I haven't seen sheeps in a while in my games. But it felt like, for a while, a lot of people were trying to push sheep as the Stabby answer, because it's like, oh, well, it's dimensional, and it's poison, and, you know, I get it, but it... No. Beware their Snowball? Yes. Snowball is probably lower damage ceiling than Murder Wing at this current time. I don't know if it is in general. So I don't know if we bother killing that. Because we could kill it now. It's just, the question is it worth it? Probably not. Nah, we're gonna kill it. So if Cassowary dies, but something's gonna have to walk in range to get killed and shelled by the jar. You can trade only if you have a key advantage. I do, so that's why I was thinking about it. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to be bothered. This is a little weird. How much are we at? 14, so they can't do that. Wait, do we need to do that? How much health does this have? Unfortunately, we do. I'm just trying to remove stuff from the board so they can't do anything. We're not going to move that close. There might be a trap. There might be a trap here, honestly. There is not. Now your opponent doesn't have range phobies. Exactly. Hey, Jenna. We had a very large esoteric discussion earlier. We played a game and we did a couple game reviews. You already won? Yeah, we're kind of just going through the motions here, truthfully. You lost in the prediction, that's what you get. That's what you get. We got a little AWOL memeage going. Let's see if there was a trap here, if I predicted correctly. There was a trap. May the odds be ever in your favor, or something like that. Does that really apply here? I don't know. GG. GG. We got him, chat. We got there. Our opponent was winning. Clinico's seen too much. Were they winning? I'm not saying that is like... Were they, though? It was more like, were they actually winning at one point? I'm going to go back and look. I think our opener was okay. I don't like the sheep here. So, I'm down a key because I lose the Contortio, right? They seemed hell-bent on trying to make this AWOL connect with something. This was a mistake on my part. I shouldn't have allowed this or forced them to do something else on this turn. Like, the jar on that turn I don't think was really necessary. We could have had something else down here to threaten this so that way I can kill this and then recap immediately. Which then would have just died, so I would have been down still -1 key overall, but... Like, I don't think... And again, this is not to beat up our opponent. I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, I kicked the crap out of them, so they didn't know what they were doing. That's not what I'm saying. I just think the Temptress and the Alligator... The Alligator might have been fine, just because... It takes an enormous amount of effort to kill it, but the Temptress, I have no idea why that's there. In the mid-game, they could have invested the extra 6 keys in more useful stuff. The Sheep Sack must have happened before, and the Alligator was a waste. Alligator, I could see. I don't like it on this map because it's not a lava map, so you're not really leveraging it, but it is still a ton of hit points, and I would have to focus my all of my effort, all of my phobies onto it in order to take it down, or risk it being in range still. So I can respect an alligator. The Temptress makes no sense at all to me. The sheep push could have been something that happened sooner, but again, we see the sheep trade for Stabby later. If they did that sooner, is that necessarily better? I guess it is a little bit, but not significantly, because the turn that they lose the sheep, they lose 8 keys, because they lose 8 keys here when I kill the sheep and the Temptress. The big thing is that they let me put hits on the sheep. There were hits on this Temptress, although minor. What did this take? Oh, because they healed it with Clinico. And then later on, we get a hit on this in order to soften it up. Point is that a lot of stuff was able to go down in one turn that should not have ordinarily been able to. In this map, you need range by killing Unicorn. It was GG already. By this point, yes. By this point, yes. Like, where I'm going with that is if I had somehow... I think there might have been an earlier turn, I don't remember, where I had the opportunity. Like, I could have invaded and killed Unicorn at certain points. Like, on these turns, I absolutely could have killed Unicorn here. Because we got to move Stabby down, send Cassowary in, etc. Probably Cassowary gets hit by a trap, because this one was here, we know at the end of the game. Whether it was here at this point, I don't know, but probably. And then Sheep comes in. But the Cassowary would tank the trap. Like, it might have been worth it to kill this Unicorn and just take it off the board on one of these turns, but maybe not. Maybe not. I was talking about this before, last night. I am really excited to play Cult of the Lamb, which, if you're not familiar with it, I guess it's a roguelike, but the idea is that you're in this, like, anthropomorphic world, everyone's animals, and you are killed for being a heretic as the Lamb. And then you get resurrected by, like, the Great Dark One or something to spread the Great Dark One's word back into the world. So basically, you start a cult. Morbid Fates, welcome. Welcome. I saw the follow earlier, so thank you for the follow. And it's basically, the gameplay seems to be Hades, but with cutesy anthropomorphic animals that are all murdering each other. That's the way I would put it. 4 mid-endgame decisions from your opponent, maybe even a tilt. Well, we definitely tilted them at the end, probably. It's the biggest gas station in the world. Buc-ee's is a Texas gas station religion. Now that you guys say that, now I'm remembering people bringing it up before. Is that the cartoonish-looking game? Yes. It is very much intended to look cutesy. But it's also, like, super gory. So I'm excited to play it. The beginning of August, there's a whole bunch of variety games. And don't get me wrong, Cult of the Lamb, you can get it on Steam. Cult as in, yes, a group of creepy demon-worshipping people. But there's multiple variety games that I want to play in August, chat. So in like 2 weeks. So there's Cult of the Lamb. There's Gigabash, which is a kaiju fighting game. So I'm excited about that. There's Multiverse, which we were trying last night and we'll be doing variety for. There's going to be the Cowabunga collection. It's entirely possible that for a couple weeks I'm going to do multiple variety nights. Like, the whole night is variety, as opposed to Phobies and stay up late. Or I might do a split stream where we start Phobies for an hour or two and then switch gears. Because otherwise I'll be playing these games that just released in like October when nobody cares about them. Now, Cult of the Lamb thematically would kind of fit. And maybe these games won't be a fit for the stream, like people won't like them. But I will absolutely do them on variety night, and I will probably... I'm going to have to work out scheduling, because there's also some upcoming weekends where I have some real-life obligations that I'm not going to be able to stream on certain days or even the whole weekend. Like, it might be a Friday, Monday thing, or Sunday, Monday. It depends on how the timing and the travel goes, essentially, is what it's going to come down to. So, but if you want to get your own game reviewed and you're not here on the live stream, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. It'll be in the description of this YouTube video. Or if you're in the live stream, of course, !Discord. You guys know the deal. Everybody knows the story. This is not the right username. It's IE. Why is this... I copied and pasted this, so I don't know where... It's this one. So I've been trying this new opener on Eternal Monday, and this match was against a fairly high-level player. It's been working fine so far. I'd love getting your opinion on it. Also, that didn't feel like a crushing win. All right. So we get a Creep and Contortio opener from our hero, fluffybunnie here. Cult of the Sheep and Gas? Exactly. Exactly. So we get kind of an oddball response from our opponent as well. Jar immediately to set this up. Now, it does lock off the center point to a degree, because you can't just take it. They're going to recap it with their own cowbell, because you'll shell whatever takes the center. But I don't know about this creep, so I didn't see what level fluffybunnie was before we zoned in. But for me on Eternal Monday, and chat, feel free to chime in, or if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to chime in with your own openers on Eternal Monday. Let me know what you get. Hashtag spams Beauty Chuck Firean Hevo 3.0. Never seen something more disgusting. Well, those are pretty good, and they are banking, so I expect we're going to see some of those. But as far as this opener goes, I'm trying to think. A lot of people open either Murder Wing or Snowball on this map. Against Murder Wing, this is probably pretty decent, and it kind of discourages Murder Wing, because you can go, like, if you start with this and then they go Murder Wing, take this point, which I've seen a lot of people do. You just take the center point, puke on them, and then it's like, okay, your Murder Wing is going to get offed at some point. I mean, it's going to die at some point, probably, but you get the idea. It's going to be softened up so that way you can eliminate it more easily. If they go Snowball, Snowball probably just vomits on the creep in return, and then eventually gets to the healing spa. So I don't think this really works out against Snowball. Against other, like, those are the most common openers I see. If it's Cassowary or something, that's probably okay too, because you likely trade with the Cassowary, and that's a useful asset to remove from your opponent. I don't mind this opener, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet, truthfully. I don't know. I do creep on this map because I usually get a muffin from them or a turn where they just heal their Snowball. That's fair. It depends on this. So say they Snowball, and they take the center point. You know, just arbitrarily. They could take the top point too and force you to come in, whatever. Point is that you vomit on them. If they don't fireball you in return and just run to the healing spa, I don't know that that's worth it. The reason I say that is it's only likely one turn out of commission and the fireball's available immediately. However, if they fireball you and they run away, they can't get to the healing spot quickly enough, so that means it's yet another turn of travel and damage. So that might be valuable from a tempo perspective, but that means you need to continue pressuring them in other ways, because clearly the Snowball's not dead. So, I don't know. I'm not sold on this yet. We'll see how it plays out in this game. The Bow Mangles follow-up is, I guess, a little more standard. I've definitely seen plenty of Stabbies and Bow Mangles creep their way up in order to guard the center. It's going to necessitate a follow-up of a bunch of 1 keys, and I think that's where you need to iron out your build order in general. Not necessarily just for fluffybunnie here, but in general. Okay, I'm going to open A and B on Eternal Monday when going first, and then I want to follow it up with this, because you can probably script your turn 1 and turn 2 plays for the most part. What does that mean? Well, you're going to need to follow it up with a lot of smaller stuff to continue fighting, because clearly your opponent's going to most likely not do nothing. They're going to have some low keys on the board. They're going to fight for board position. So yes, you can kill them, but either you're going to take a ton of damage, so you need to bank, get something big, or you got to flood in order to recap points. We'll see. I opened with Henrietta to see if my opponent wants to be a D-bag. In what way, Hakunay? What do you mean? I also do a cool boom play in this? Okay. Did someone say boom? Kraos, what's up? What's good? Welcome. Welcome. Hey, if you're hanging out in chat, by the way, feel free to lurk. You don't have to talk. Ooh, we get an Alistor. But you don't have to talk or anything. If you want to come by the live stream, if you're watching this on YouTube, RT Chomp GG over on Twitch, But feel free to just lurk and chill out. That's cool too. Do appreciate the subscribes and follows both on Twitch and on YouTube, of course. They really do help. Just throwing that out there. I got to sneak it in when I can. Well, we get a boom here and we have a yoink, chat. I think we can see where this is going. I think you're the only one that can answer that, Scrungle. So the Henrietta opener is... if my opponent wants to go with Murder Wing, Snow, Stabby, Bow, or Jar, I mean, those are pretty standard openers, so it seems reasonable. Yesterday I watched like 50% of viewer games, but I don't remember anything about this one. So we get a takedown up in the north. What was that? They're just killing off the Contortio. This, I can kind of see where the nasty... Oh, okay. I don't know if that Alistor's safe. We'll see. We'll see if the boom play happens on this turn. Onto the Angel of Booms. You love it. You'll love to see it. Oh no. Chat, look at this poll. Somebody clip this one. People love watching Alistor go poof. Boom, baby. That's good. That's a good one, chat. I'm going to have to go back and clip that. I'm going to put a marker here in the stream. I don't know if anybody clipped it. I didn't add the thing to my obs yet to do this. If Alistor had 20 more health, it would have lived. Yeah. That's mean. But you love to see it. You love to see it. Onda is proud. That's a good boom hit. Like that. I've seen so many booms in the last few days that are just capping points. They're just an arbitrary one drop, or they do something meaningless. That was a solid boom. We hate Alistor. Yeah. That's why I said we gotta clip that one. Rarely see boom work like that. You rarely see boom work at all, truthfully. The only time I really see boom outside of this is you need to have a weird Gravedigger configuration or something like that where, oh, well, I break a wall or that opens this up and then I boom and the, you know. But that was pretty strong. That was pretty strong. 2 panic point advantage to 1. Yes, the Phobies are even, but these are stronger Phobies. Like, you like to see this on the good guy's side. Seems pretty good, chat. It seems okay. Kaboom, baby! Exactly. I gotta pull some of the sound clips. I want to pull the hunt no. We might replace some of the channel point redemptions with that. Like, I might replace oh no with that. With the hunt one. But anyway, back to the game. We're getting the flops here. We get a Fire Ant. I use boom to force my opponent to a position I can easily control, then yeah, sack it for a point. That's probably the most likely scenario. I mean, of course people are not going to turn down booms like we just saw, but that's the more likely thing, is it's the zoning tool. I don't really like boom for that, simply because if they have like any ranged Phobie, I think it's difficult to engineer that scenario, but, you know, it's a thing. So we have to imagine there's traps on the center point at this stage. And this is an AoE trap, remember, from Fire Ant. And while there's damage going down on this Bowmangles... Oh, this Bowmangles actually got beat up. It did get the Muffin heal earlier, but it wasn't that much. We're out of keys for both players. This Hematic Ginsting can absolutely carry the day, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I like this. I like this. You get a second follow-up yoink into a Fire Ant takedown. Chat, you love to see it. You love to see it. Those are 2 major Phobies that got yoinked on this map and got annihilated. Shout out fluffybunnie. Shout out fluffybunnie. It's in the one we reviewed, my very first Kaboom game, the one that killed Mildred. I'd have to go find it, Onda. I don't remember when that was, but that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a big jar? What jar is this? This is a level 15 jar. It's a pretty big jar. Pretty big jar. Triple panic point advantage for our hero. I mean, Chad, after the Alistor kill, we kind of... I mean, we knew where this was going to begin with. But, like, after the Alistor kill, this one was kind of in the bag, it felt like. But well played here. Well done. Unfortunately, a bunch of the forces go down, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, because this Jin Sting is still very, very healthy. They just... There's no way they have enough damage. It's the way it goes sometimes, Hakunay. It's the way it happens sometimes. But GG, this was pretty cool. We got a pretty good highlight. I think that one's going to go in the reel. I think that one's going to go in the reel. Just because people hate Alistor so much. People hate Alistor so much, but well played. Well played. When you look at jar level, just know it's that or more ultra rare, so who's really the unlucky one? I don't know, I'd be pretty happy with a lot of jar levels. The Diamond Jack gives the best reward, Explosive the second best. I think the green one is better than the smiling one. So this one better than the other ones? Interesting, I didn't know that. I think the tutorial explains it at some point, but I don't know. Weekly map rotation. RCO. I mean, we knew this from the other night, but Lippy was up here screaming at me and I forgot to click on him, so. Gray Jacks give 4 upgrades, Green Jacks give 8 upgrades, Orange Jacks give 12 upgrades, and Diamond Jacks give 12 upgrades and extra XP. Now, it seems like all of them have a chance to do any of those things. The reason I say that is I've gotten coffee out of some of them. And I think I've gotten XP and something out of other ones other than the Diamond before, but I don't know what the chances are. No, I'd only explained the Diamond Jack, so I was curious. Gotcha. Fair. It's been a while since I've done it, so I didn't remember. They also give resources? Okay. Yeah, from the Explosive one, I once got 23 to 28 Alistor upgrades. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. There's a couple different things that are... It's tough to envision how that plays out since there's so many variables past that point. It isn't like, oh, well, if I just don't miss this obvious play, then clearly they can't do X, Y, and Z. It's... They still have keys left. They're still in a strong, threatening position, that sort of thing. I like the Gonzo Scritch idea. Part of it was I was locked out on Phobies. True, maybe you could push them out with Hevo instead of going back and giving them space during the Brony. You're saying let them Brony and then put a Hevo out there? My Hevo's not very high level, but I don't think that's going to do anything of value anyway. Like, my Hevo, I think, does 400 damage, maybe 402. 402. So it's not pushing that much damage, even if it were able to. Unless you're saying with Hevo 3.0, I don't know if you're trying to say, like, I should bank some of the keys and go Hevo instead of Hevo 3.0, or what? This is an 841. We're just shy of killing this with Morty. Kill Brony and go Hevo. I couldn't. Because I was maxed out on Phobies at that point. So I would need them to kill something which they... I mean, they were in position to, I guess. Brownie. So if we go here, we get hit by this and this. We'll live, but we'll be poisoned, which I don't really want. We're not doing great on the panic point front here. What I was thinking when I popped the Gin Sting out was that maybe I should have just put it here and allow it to get hit by the Murder Wing if they want, because then I can block or protect both of these, but obviously I didn't do that. So if they're lazy, we can get their Murder Wing. There's no way they're going to allow us to do that, but I mean, maybe. Chat, we can Morty. I think we're going to Morty here, truthfully. We come back down with Gin Sting. Maybe it's not worth it? I don't know. Because we could kill their Gin Sting and then leave their Gesundheit alive with the Murder Wing as potential follow-up. None of that seems fantastic. Like, that seems really bad. Show you a win? We'll see. We'll see, Krios. Alright, so they are appropriately saving this. Saving everything, it looks like. If we try and recap any of these points, they're gonna kill our stuff. They have 5 keys. We're just sending a sacrificial Phobie in here. Like, they're clearly going to kill whatever it is. It's just a matter of what do they retake that spot with. I'm going to keep trying to force Honey Bear on this map and see how it... Come on, game. Oh, we can't do it there. That's why. I don't really like this. This feels not great, but we'll see. We'll see. So they already did Murder Wing. Okay, so they're just going to take this with Klepto, which takes it out of the fight for a turn, possibly, depending on whether we try and fight over this. We don't have a great way to threaten this. We can only swing this down. 1, 2, 3. We could hit it with this and this for, like, almost 1,000. So they're guarding this, which is fine. Obviously setting up the yoink. So they could pull this here. This can hit. This can't hit. That can't hit. This could. They pull this, probably dies. The Honey Bear will die, actually, there. Most likely will. So if we put Innocuous here, it's dead. If we put... Most things, if we put them out at all, they're dead. That's the reality right now. We're going to go with that. We could send out, say, a cassowary next turn and a Morty. 1, 2, 3. No, well, 1, 2, leap. You'd end up here. You should have moved Honey Bear here, possibly, because then it could also threaten to hit. No. That wouldn't have worked, because if we do that, then this is the threat. Like, they go in and yoink it here, and then could collapse on it. We can't really threaten it. Hey, Forgo, what's good? So they're splitting our forces here. This is not good. Five, 10, 14. We can kill the spider. It's just, is that safe enough to do? I think we have to get it off the board. We can't risk it just hanging around forever. That's the big issue. If we allow this thing to continue to exist, we're just going to eventually get clobbered by it, right? And a 700 health. We can Morty this, but then the Morty just dies. If we leap on it with Cassowary, that doesn't do us any good. I wonder if, like, does this do anything valuable for us? Oh no, we can't boop this turn. Morty's really the only way we kill this thing. This is 12, 22, and then that just comes in and kills it. Pterodactyl's not going to work. Taking a big risk here, chat. We're going for it for the memes. Sheep? I don't like sheep. Although, I guess Flesh Crawler's doing the same thing. Sheep would probably be better if I'm going to do Flesh Crawler, truthfully. Because then it's just the same thing for less keys. This seems weird, but they also have 20 keys available. I didn't realize, why do they have so many freaking keys? Did they, like, I haven't done anything to them, apparently. Whatever their follow-up is, it's going to be nasty. That's a Mr. Tramples. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I was going to say sheep, but he hates sheep. I just don't think sheep is very good. I have newfound respect for it because I had some ideas offline, but I just don't like it. Hold on. Well, yes, we're going to do this first. We're probably setting ourselves up to get blown out here, chat, but... Morty memes. Disable your panic point. We needed the damage, I think. We're probably going to get blown out by Mr. Tramples, but... We did Morty, chat. Oh, you're saying puke down here on the center one? I think we needed the damage to ensure... I didn't count it up, but... Like, that could be incorrect, that I didn't need the damage. Is Morty gonna live? There's no way Morty lives, right? If Morty gets 2 hits in this game, I will be absolutely flabbergasted. If this thing lives, I'll be floored as well, because we could actually muffin it. Yeah, you kind of needed to do that, because otherwise the cat kills your stupid spider, which I guess isn't the end of the world either. Do we get the run through? We do. I was about to say, did it not do the damage, but I guess the animation ended up being weird as a result. I don't know. That's not going to do anything. Hold on. Oh, that's awkward. Oh no, Meatball comes back online, right? We could have done this differently. In fact, I think we could have healed it while it was up here. Where was the ginseng? Was it... No, it was on the lava, so we would have had to move here. What the hell was that? Oh, the undo just really quick. That was weird. It looked like it attacked... Well, we got it. GG, chat. GG. Morty! Who's down? Where's Luffy? Luffy, get in here. You missed Morty. You missed Morty. GG. So I did end up buying another G.I. Joe, or pre-ordering it. I pre-ordered Sergeant Slaughter. If you're not familiar with Sergeant Slaughter, was a G.I. Joe character, obviously. He was also a professional wrestling character. One of the reasons that I wanted to order it, aside from it being one of my favorites when I was a kid, because there's a really funny and cool scene in the G.I. Joe movie. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube. Like, I'm not joking. If you're watching the stream or you're watching this on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Pause everything. Go to YouTube and search Sergeant Slaughter Itty Bitty Ditty Bag. And just watch it. You'll laugh. It's funny. So, I ended up ordering it because the Sergeant Slaughter toy comes with a little Sergeant Slaughter action figure. Like, it's a 6-inch action figure and then comes with, like, a 1-inch action figure. It's actually pretty cool. It's fun. So, I'm excited about that, although the pre-order's not going to be a while. Pause everything. If only I had the power to pause time, believe me, if I did. If only. The other thing I thought of, aside from updating people on my toy collecting, is... So, I've talked a lot about being the heart puncher. Are people familiar with the heart attack burger? Like, is that a thing that chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments if you heard of it before. There was a somewhat comical thing going around where there were restaurants, I forget where they were, I want to say in the South, but I'm not sure. They were serving things called heart attack burgers, where it was just like an enormous hamburger with so much stuff piled on it that hence it would potentially induce a heart attack. So the thought occurred to me, what if we called, like, we had a title that was the burger of the week, which was whoever had the wildest heart-punching game. What do people think about that? I don't know if the title really works. It was just something I thought of offhand. I thought it would be funny. I don't know if that's something people would really be into, but, you know. I also kind of just wanted to let this game play out. So Alien Engineer looked... I think they won this game going second against the Snowball opener. I didn't see what Alien Engineer's opener was. But I do see a Jackalope King, which amuses me. I wonder if we'll see the other Jackalopes. I mean, I assume Jinsting dies this turn, or... not this turn, but soon thereafter. Yep, we get a Mopsy. Yeah, there just aren't enough Phobies left for CQC. Close quarters combat. We're just gonna move forward. We don't really... I see the main Phobie Discord Alien Engineers said he'd want to get used to the Jackalope army. He said they're strong. Well, here, I think it's just arbitrary... So if you, it was just resurrect Phobies, if you had the newly deads, it wouldn't be nearly as effective because they wouldn't be in range in time. But there aren't any other things to compare it. I don't think it mattered that it was Jackalope King. Like, it could have been any of the other Jackalopes and Mopsy, and it would have been fine just because of the weight of bodies. But I do like the idea of the Jackalopes. I've talked about it on a lot of occasions before. I just don't know. Especially in Pluto, I haven't seen how they can be strong. It just feels too easy to get rid of the buff. The buff, I don't think is... The buff matters, but... So, for example, the way Alien Engineer played that turn, I don't like to do. I like Jackalope King to be the final thing, so that way you can surprise everybody. I guess the alternative is you start with Jackalope King, and it, you know, it's the bigger one, so you surprise people with the other Jackalopes and get the buff on Jackalope King. But it's... You're telegraphing it there, whereas you might be able to catch somebody unaware doing it in the other order. It obviously depends on the board state, but... I don't know. I hope that it's a viable strategy, but I don't know that it actually is going to be. It feels like they are too fragile, and most of the time, if your opponent is playing in a somewhat normal way, where they do have a board presence before... You know, it's not like they're banking to 9 out of the gate. They're going to be able to kill those things and then actually kill them, because it'll make their life more complicated, because they need to have probably 3 early game Phobies, 2 to hit it and kill it, because even a single Cassowary hit or a single Eternal Night hit on level, I don't think kills them, as in reduces them to bones. And then you need the 3rd in order to actually step on it. So it'll be interesting. Maybe when everybody maxes out levels, it'll work out more in their favor, but right now it feels like if people have higher level things than you, they just accidentally kill it in one shot and then pop whatever the thing, you know, like run something on it. It feels that way anyway. Maybe that's not how it actually works out most of the time, but, you know. Hey, Super Roar, I missed that probably while I was on break, but thank you for the follow. Welcome. Like I said before, if anybody wants to lurk, if you're watching this on YouTube, come by the live stream, RTChompGG over on Twitch. And if you're in the chat, or if you're watching on YouTube, come by the Discord, !Discord, or of course, it'll be in the video description. But we wanted to look at, this was the other thing, I want to look at Hakunay's highlight. Got an oh no, my Phobies moment. I don't know if Hakunay is still in chat, but we're going to take a look at this. This should... Somebody get your clip buttons ready, chat. Turns 20 to 27. Somebody didn't understand the assignment. And most important is 20 and 26. All right, this is against this person. All right, we're going to skip forward because we want to be looking for highlights. Venus. I got to use Canine more. I have no idea why they went Tickles unless it was an arbitrary one drop. All right, so turn 19. Get a little beatdown going. Get some explosive here. Dropping the hammer on the Venus. Ooh, double trap. Ouch. I mean, Hakunay is very much in control of this game so far. That's unfortunate. As I say that... Oof. That's a pretty good turn for the bad guys. That's a pretty good turn for the bad guys. Obviously, Cassowary is going to pay for its sins. We get a Clopster. This could lead to something funny. This could lead to something funny. This is bold. There's going to be a lot of dead things after this. Alright, so now it's Clopster against the world. This might be a heart snipe. This might be the burger of the week. I still don't know if anybody likes that. Nobody even responded, so I'll take that as a no. Honestly, this has to be a heart snipe. What are we looking at? I feel like Hakunay is trolling their opponent right now. 400 damage. 448. Nope. You gotta get 2 hits now. Punch number 1. Oh no, chat. Are they gonna come up just short? They're gonna come up just short, aren't they? Clopster the tank. Clopster the tank. Clopster's a tanky boy. GG. I sacked all for checkmate. Yep. Looked like it. Well played. Well played. Get a little chomp action for that one. Nice. Love to see it. Alright, we'll clean up the channel real quick. That's a good segue into a game review. Technically, only 2 more for the week. But, because we started early, we've been able to get in a lot more games. So somebody asked, Sivadas asked me to review a game where I played them. Normally, I wouldn't do this. But I haven't said that before, so we'll let somebody get away with one. The crab carry. I actually played against Sivadas several times in async, so I assume this is an async game. So this is actually one of my games. I won the game, but Sivadas specifically requested that we take a look at this one, figure out why they lost. So my general strategy on this map is just try and force Unbearable and bully with Unbearable. Always cook a Clopster in your pockets? What? What does that mean? What does that mean, Hakunay? Yeah, Clopster seems really good. So this is my normal opener. I would do this going first as well. The jar position here is where you want to be. This is one of those maps where controlling the mid, I mean, that defines many maps, but controlling the mid is important, in my opinion. But basically, my opener is to bank for Unbearable, and then whether I'm going first or second obviously changes things a little bit, but try and use Unbearable to lob into this controlling the center position. So the whole thing is about trading here with 1-drops, at least for me. So we get the spit here, it's going to allow a takedown without exposing too much here. That's the big deal, is that you don't want to expose things for me to then just be able to clean them up. The cat is going to take damage. Honestly, I don't remember what happened in this game, so I'm trying to predict my own, or recall my own thoughts on this. Sock is already a slight imprecision. So the sock, I believe, was in response to this, is the main reason. And I think it's better than Henrietta as an answer. But I don't really like these as answers anyway. I don't think this is a map where you really follow up. As you can see, I'm very aggressive about this because I just don't care if they poison it. I'm more concerned with the board position here. But obviously, I'm not taking any chances and killing the poison. Even if they did poison it, it's like there's enough stuff on the board that unless you retreat and give me the entire board, then I just don't care. So we lose the cassowary in this exchange, which is key negative, but it does alleviate them, or alleviate me of some of the concerns here. And although I'm taking a beating, I'm playing for board position. I'm like 99% sure this was an async game also. This had to have been an async game. Overextended and lost stuff? Yes, but I can understand the overextension. The thing is that if you look at the board position now, Sivadas is going to be able to get, like, a Phobie online, right? And if they do, they're not in a terrible position. They've done a ton of heart damage. They can recover from this. Because the issue here, I kind of made a mistake with leaving the jar. Because I was accounting for, oh, I'll get hit essentially once by Klepto. But I think they swing the jar in. Yeah, they swing in the jar, which allows them to kill both of these. Which was a mistake, because now I can't deal with their jar. Or can I? Does this have Fireball up? Never mind. I think this was... I end up hitting this with Fireball. And eliminating it. No, I don't. Why didn't I... What level is their jar? 5... Oh, yeah, because it was too big. I couldn't Fireball it to kill it. We could have gotten it, but that would have exposed stuff to, like, me overextending and getting blown up. So basically, I just traded a bunch of keys for panic point advantage, and now the Unbearable is in a position to try and, again, defend the panic points. So this is, tempo-wise, something that I take note of in games, but when I'm playing, I can't quite... I don't always grok it at the time. But basically, it's now the mid to late game, and I am at a panic point advantage. And as a result, my board position is stronger, like, the other player has to commit into me, and then this turn just annihilated the rest of what they had. 28-20 damage is nothing. It didn't bring the heart under 1k life. You're still sitting on some chill 4k life. At this stage, yes. So, we've talked about it before. It's the same principle in card games. You're not dead until you're actually dead. I know that sounds silly, but the idea is use your heart health as a resource. Fight for the board position if that's how you want to play it. And then recap the points if you need to later on. It's fine. Obviously, we end up clearing stuff out. It was basically a combination of those two turns is what did Sivadas in. The overextension, which didn't eliminate them from the game. Like, I don't think the game is over at that stage. They're just in a rough spot because they're going to have to then claw back in. But the second follow-up turn really hurt them, because the unbearable was not vulnerable at any point. Basically, I was able to just pick apart their team over and over again, is what it amounted to. But I agree with what Hakunay is saying. You leverage the heart. Well, this turn seems like a positioning mistake because they wanted to protect the Kerbloom, but died anyway. Yep. Absolutely. Like, the Kerbloom turn just blew them up. That was the game. And that's it. GG. So, to bring it back to what Hakunay is saying, because, like I said, we talked about this before, and I think it's worth reiterating on both now and on many future occasions, I'm sure. Your heart health is just as much a resource as anything else in Phobies. Your keys, the Phobie health, the Phobie damage, the movement, the abilities. Your heart health is just as much a resource. And playing for better board position, even though you are quote-unquote dying, is worthwhile. And an overextension, such as we saw from Sivadas, can put you on the back foot. Now, at that stage in the game, like I said a minute ago, I don't feel that Sivadas was out of the game. I don't think the game was over, and I think that they still could have clawed back in. I think the nail in the coffin was the kaboom turn, when I annihilated like 3 different Phobies, and then that was their big get me back in the game button. However, the general principle of fighting for the board position, giving up the now for the later, I think is worth keeping in mind for your gameplay. Doing almost 3k damage, if you can, like, the big issue is that it was not an extension, but an overextension. You can extend and cap a bunch of points and start pushing damage on your opponent, and that's fine. The overextension part comes in is where you can't follow it up. And that's what ultimately happened on that early turn is, yes, all 5 panic points were orange, but now it left you with 2 Phobies and you're reinforcing with 1. So the play button is blinking like that. I mean, a game will expire. It happens. Yeah, it means that one of my games is about to expire. I've been kind of lazy the last few days about my asyncs. I haven't queued up as many because we're at the end of the season. So I wasn't like rushing to get it. Once I hit this total, I kind of hit the brakes on async because I just play more arena instead. I'll get to it. We'll do another game review in the meantime. Yeah, normally I wouldn't review my own games, but that one was specifically requested. Well, I mean, I review my own games, but I don't review my wins, really. Unless people have a question in chat. I usually only do it for specific things like that. If you can keep the panics on your side, then just play Klopster and the opponent will be lost. You know, that sounds like a familiar strategy. You want a particular from the season pack, like any Phobie? If I had any Phobie I wanted, I have to look at the list. Obviously not stress rewards. If it was any Phobie at all, it would probably be Attractor. Attractor would be the first thing, just from a gameplay perspective. There's several that are at the top of my list. Like, the interesting 8 drops, like Boss, Beauty, Heartbreaker, Smother Mother, Chuck. I think the usuals. Brony would be cool because it would open up new strategies. I think Attractor's probably number 1 on the list because I think it opens up new strategies and would fit roughly into my current gameplay pattern. Open up a Motherload for my first pack. What do you think of that? I like Motherload. I think it's pretty solid. You don't see it show up all that often, but I've been seeing it a fair amount on Pluto. Like, that seems to be a fairly decent map for it. It comes up fairly frequently. Thought you'd say Heartbreaker or Beauty. I mean, I do want those, but first and foremost, I think Attractor's probably it. I would want Attractor, Octonaughty, or Smother Mother. Probably in that order. The reason being is I want a second pull. So there are specific maps, namely Xylo, which just rotated out, that feels like having double pulls is such an enormous advantage over your opponent. Either to set up a chain pull, or chain, like, pull into Boop or something, or just threaten both sides, the top and the bottom of the map. both poles of the map, we'll say. So we're looking at... This is 721. Alright, so GDFuZe. We're zoning into Pluto. What are the new maps? You pull the poles of the map, I guess. So we get a standard opener here. We get Murder Wing. Cassowary plus Bachelor means that actually you can't really... Okay, timeout. Where's DT? Because people... I constantly beat up on Bachelor because I don't like it early in games, typically. And I generally... I kind of feel like the dimensional pull is a 60-40 bad to good. As in, it's more often bad than good. And Bachelor, because it doesn't push a bunch of damage, and if people put it early, the pull is either meaningless or not good for you, because it allows for challenge plays. However, here, it's actually pretty cool, because either you end up on the lava, or if you kill this thing off the bat, now the Murder Wing is exposed and it's dead. So this is kind of unique, that I wanted to give Bachelor a shout out here. So we get a Bo Mangles follow-up. If you haven't seen it in my Discord, I'm doing this offline, but basically the subscribers on Twitch, or if I ever set up a Patreon, are getting some information about the new maps, because I'm going and researching the top players on the ladder, arena ladder, and breaking down what their openers and plays are, and seeing what are the most common phobies, what their win rates are, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Onda. Alright, DT, you have to catch this on the... Or let him know in Discord, but you have to catch this on the YouTube vid. But, here's a spoiler, since I already told people in Discord. Bo Mangle shows up a lot on this map, as does Murder Wing. Shocker, I know. Real deep thoughts there with Jack Handy. But, in the meantime, we are getting a Honey Bear, something I do... I guess you're disabling the stim. This is... That's why I paused, chat. If you're probably, because of the delay on stream, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I paused because I'm just like... I'm sorry, what? But this could be Galaxy Brain. The reason I'm saying is... It disables the stim. So let's say Honey Bear... It could be Onda. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could just be something's going on. It doesn't always mean that. But if you don't Honey Bear and you do something else, like say you Jin Sting and walk it up to here, they go on the stim, Meatball hits you for like 900. How much is a stim? Oh, we can't see it because of this, but let's assume that it's like 900. Say 1400. And then this hits it. So that's a dead Bo Mangles. I don't know. That might still be worth it. Player himself would be triggered if he sees this. I don't know, chat. This one is mystifying me a little bit. Like, I get disabling the stim, but I don't know that it's worth it. Why is Bo Mangles a popular unit? Both Bo Mangles, as well as Stabby, and to a lesser degree Unbearable, because it's more expensive, are a one-turn turret. This is something that comes up frequently on stream. And by the way, if you have questions on stream or in the YouTube comments, hit me up. It's fine. They're both important because they can just sit on a spot and pour out a ton of damage. Like, these Bo Mangles, this is only level 8, but it's over 500 damage. And it has an enormous amount of hit points, so your opponent has to commit a lot of resources, and early in the game, if you get this into position, it's very difficult to dislodge. But yes, generally, if you don't have Stabby, you're using Bo Mangles, or if your Bo Mangles just happens to be higher level, because Bo Mangles is more vulnerable. Don't believe the dimensional poison thing. It mostly doesn't matter once you get past a certain point, aka once you get access to healing phobies, specifically Muffin. But the idea is that, especially on smaller maps, you can get the turrets into play, into the action very quickly. And this bow mangles means that our orange player can't touch this panic point, or the stim for fear of just dying. Because they're going to take 1,000 damage minimum from the bow mangles and then go on from there. So that's a little bit about why. So we get the challenge play pull in order to get a further hit down on the opposing bow mangles. We kill the cassowary. Now this bow mangles is still healthy, but not that healthy. This one's more healthy. That annoying noise from the cat. There we go, it stopped. And we get a follow-up with another turret in Unicorn and Cat. The thing is Stabby probably has higher damage output than bow mangles because of the reflect. So we get the takedown on the Murder Wing, shocker, but this bow mangles is not long for the world. And right now it's Murder Wing and bow mangles, damage bow mangles against the world. Because this honey bear does, like, nothing as far as damage output goes. Honestly, you could have killed it with the cat, I guess, but then the cat dies. That's fine. I have mangles, but I like Stabby more. I think Stabby is better. I think Stabby, and notably better. So we get the jar follow-up, but at this point, honestly, we know the outcome, so it's easy to say, oh, well, this game... Oh, my God. This is such a dick move. Locking them out here... Like, you don't actually close the gate entirely. You don't completely brick them from getting into the game and completely prevent them. But this forces a funnel or flying characters. And how are they going to advance into a bow mangles on the stim that's healthy? They're going to be traps. This game, if it wasn't over before, it's over now. I feel like we're just going through the motions for the next 11 turns. We're going to build up from our bad guy. Our hero, of course, is in the blue trunks. It's FuZe. But I don't even know what they do here. They bank to 5, so I'm anxious to... Oh my God, there's a Cerberus, chat. I don't know if this Cerberus is BM or not. Are they BMing with the Cerberus? What do you think, chat? So there are notes for this, which I didn't read out. I was crushing hard throughout the match, and then the opponent had an interesting use of Honey Bear. I think we saw that, which brought them back. Then I threw the game, then they threw harder. Where was the throw? Have we seen it yet? It's got to be coming up. I missed this turn. So we get an invade that kills the bow mangles. I guess the throw is probably the Cerberus, honestly. Because if you follow up with a more normal... Oh no, that's a dead jar. And a Minotaur. Okay. You face a Cerberus here first time? Cerberus can be scary the first time you see it. Okay, they're not going for the jar. They're killing the cat. I ended up walling it off and just ranging it to death. He walked up my Eternal Night and popped. That's kind of how the end of many Cerberus is met. the big walk from the cowbell to even the panic points. We're actually looking at 1,400 health. Wow. So this Cerberus annihilates the cowbell, but it is in range of the sheep. As it's going to be in range of literally everything from our orange player. This could be a throw because you're out of keys. Powers down the traps. The Cerberus is taking a beating. I mean, it's going to heal a bunch from the the sheet, but 1100 health and almost 600 poison damage. Granted, it is healing like what, 400 health or so at time. Yeah, it's leeching a lot of life. So suddenly we're back up to like 1900 almost, or a little over 18. Get the takedown here. I mean, that could have been a throw there. But it's a 2-to-1 panic point advantage. Our orange player can't really cap these points because the Cerberus is just... It's just a big wall. Just a big wall. Is this a dead Cerberus? Oh, wow. 100 health. Dead Cerberus. $50 health, chat. Oh no, not like this! Not like this! Chat. Oh my god. Chat. That last turn did not have to happen that way. That did not have to happen that way. Sorry, I'm trying to find my stream marker. Honestly, they had that game. Hold on. Who was that opponent? Let me look at that again. Parasite. I need to see this board state. It once happened to me too. I had a jar left and an enemy only had 10. My jar stepped on the trap. Yeah, that guy is mad. I just want to get to this last turn. So you're in this position, right? Well, wait, So the mud is still here. So the stim is disabled. This has 1100 health, so they can't stay in range. I get wanting to chase this down, but honestly, I think the better play is just you cap this point, because you can't let them have any points. And they just sit the jar here. That's the safe play. Because then they can't walk up and cap this. If they come in and try and kill it, you just kill it back with this. Because they can't one-shot the honey bear, and if they one-shot your jar, you kill their jar and you win. I understand why they went for it, but that's rough. That's rough. Ouchtown population you, bro. So yeah, the mud would be gone here. So this stim was actually active. It just is a visual bug because of the skipping through the replay. That's rough, chat. That one is Ouchtown. I didn't really see the throw. I guess the throw was at the end there. I guess the throw was at the end with the sheep hit. Didn't need the stim point at all? Yeah, exactly. Must have tilted them so hard. At least it was at the end of the game. Although it could have tilted them into the next game. But yeah, they didn't need the stim. Now, they would have had to, they probably would have stepped on it at some point. They probably would have stepped on it at some point because you would have had to have traversed the mid at some stage. But you could have played it super defensively and just been like, okay, you can't ever hit my... No, you know what they should have done? Is because our hero would have had to pull back the jar or risk it dying. So they probably get a free shot on the honey bear and then back off. out of range. So you keep the jar and the honey bear at the top panic points, then you walk the honey bear back to your panic point, your pocket one, and then swing the jar to the top one. And if they set foot into range, you probably kill them with 2 jar hits because they're only going to get 1 on your jar, depending on where they're positioned. And you just play it safely. It's easy to say that. It just, man, that trap must have... I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind at that trap. Alright, chat. It is prediction time, and then I'll take another break, and then we'll play some more stuff. Will we win this next arena game? It was a pretty good stream, chat. Going pretty well. Going pretty well. Maybe break off early to do a little variety. I don't want to be up as late as I was last night. I'm super tired today. I didn't get nearly as much accomplished as I wanted to because I was just, like, dragging ass all day. There's a bunch of real-life things. Nothing serious, but, like, I need to, you know, clean some stuff up. You know, rearrange some stuff, kind of thing. Do some other stream prep. I did edit one of the videos today, which was good, so I'm prepping for next week. I gotta edit the hunt one. I don't think there's going to be anything really worthwhile. Like, I didn't have even 2 games. Maybe I could put the 1 game up, but I think I'm just going to strip the highlights from the kills, and I want to get where I scream no when I died that one time. Put that as a channel point redemption. I mentioned it before, but I think going forward, I'll keep the sound clips, but I'm going to change what shows on screen so that way it doesn't obscure as much of the gameplay. I think it's fine, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I was considering dropping the channel point costs not long ago, but the problem is a lot of them, if people spam it, which does tend to happen sometimes, the deaths can be the highlights from the game, they can be funny. Were you there for that stream, Azumi? I don't know if you saw it. That was just a frustrating stream. That whole weekend was frustrating because of real life stuff. So I was like super tilted going into everything. So as a result, I try not to let real life bleed in because I want to have have fun streams, but playing Hunt when you're already in a bad mood seems like just a recipe for disaster, right? It didn't get bad, but it wasn't good either. Oh my god, chat, it's bad sushi. How much does this do? 636. That's a pretty significant amount. It's a pretty significant amount, chat. It seemed pretty chill to me, the one where you talk about ghosts and stuff. I think that came up on that stream. Ewy fish. Is it interesting? It is an opener, in fact, Mosca. It is an opener. I guess I should have accounted for this as a possibility. We can't kill this no matter what. No, we don't want to put it there. They can hit it. We do have to deal with this, and it does push a ton of damage. Like, it's not... We can't just ignore the damage that it does. Where the hell is this thing? There it is. I need to favorite more Phobies. So that way I can find them easier. 1400 health, nasty 3-drop. Yeah, it just got buffed. It was 300. I don't know if that... I mean, certainly people are using it more because of the buff. I don't know that it makes that much of a difference, because if this thing was almost 1400 health instead of almost 1500, that would still be problematic for me right now, right? I guess Bad Sushi is better on small maps. I mean, it doesn't seem horrendous. So we'll do this differently so that way we protect our murder wing. We don't recap the point here, which is unfortunate. But I think trading Cassowary for Snowball is fine, I guess. Discount Sheep, yeah. I don't know if that's good enough, but it might be. Maybe Bad Sushi was just getting slept on because everybody thought it was terrible, and it's actually fine. What's the cooldown on the ability? 1 turn. There's a surprise. And we do have to soften it up because we do have to deal with it at some stage, right? We can't ignore it forever. Maybe I get a surprise this game? I'm surprised in every game, Jenna. Come on. You've seen me play this game too much. So this should not die. Although this is undead, so it heals, which is obnoxious. That's even more annoying. We'll end up trading Key even with how this works out if we get it, but we're not going to get it yet. $546, huh? It'll literally live by 1 health. Oh my god. How annoying is that? It'll live by 1 health. Unbelievable. If we swing the jar down, it dies, but we can just kill this with like a snowball. Can't get there. We can't get on their jar yet. If I put this here, it's threatened. Like, we'll die to an invade from stuff, or actually it just dies to the jar. So we traded 3 keys for 3 keys. It was Contortio and Eternal Night for the Bad Sushi. Possibly this as well, because it's damaged, if you look at it that way. I feel like we need to remove it from the board, though. It's too dangerous otherwise. This is a 1 health jar. You love levels. If DT were here, DT would tell me whether you can kill on-level jars with Eternal Night. But DT's not here. So we got to be wary of this, clearly. That's not what I meant to do. I want to click on this, but we probably have to do that. This has to back off or we die to the cassowary. We probably lose these two. But I think we can punish them if they decide to come after us. Oh my, if that jar was one less level. I understood what you meant, Jenna. As long... You've also listened to me speak enough to know that I say ridiculous things, and I hope I pray that I'm just getting the point across. As long as people understand what is trying to be communicated, it's good enough. So this results in the dead... Ooh. Ooh, that's bold. Alright, alright. Oh wow, this thing got full health out of this. It's still dead, but... maybe we kill these two instead? I didn't mean to do that, but running out of time here. I wanted to do something different, but I just kind of panicked at the end there. They still have 4 keys. They're not in a terrible position. This is still winnable by our opponent here. They invest everything in Slammerhead. Okay, they've accepted defeat, I guess. They've accepted defeat. So we're not going to drag this out. We're just going to do stuff. GG, well played, opponent. Appreciate the honor, too, of just, you know, accepting what was happening and not dragging things out unnecessarily. This is actually not going to die. Obnoxiously. We've done better on Billy's Room tonight because this map has kind of alternated between good for me and being just atrocious. There are times where this map is just awful for me, but ended up working out tonight. GG. We take those, chat. We take those. I don't tilt the same way on stream that I do when I'm playing offline. But I've absolutely been extremely tilted on stream before, like, or when I was streaming, I guess. So we got another L coming in, chat, because we're going second on Phobos. And we might have one more after this, too. We'll see. So since our opponent was a little weird about this, we're going to claim the center. No snowball first turn? Yep, that was odd. Yes and no, Luffy. I mean, honestly, I tried to do that for a very, very long time. Like, just never be upset. And it is hard. It is very, very difficult to do that. Last season, I grinded 2 days to level up Morty so I could snipe your Pyro's beauty in async. Nice. I don't know if we want to do that yet. Here. 5, 9. Like, we don't have enough damage if Snowball leaves. $345, 7, 8. They should not be able to kill this. A little stir. They could have killed this, I think. No, probably not. I think we banked a 6. I'd like to get a Rambolina or Spider online. I mean, Spider only costs 5, but this will allow us to bully them to a degree. Maybe they still haven't unlocked Snowball, it's possible. Or they could just not want to do it because everybody else does. That's a thing in other games, where just because it's popular and it's good, people refuse to do those specific game plans. I don't know. Given their Phobie levels, it seems like they should have Snowball unlocked. Got a Boo Fairy. That's a way to invade here. So they're probably debating whether they kill the cat or not, because I could obviously off the Gravedigger in response. But I don't know that I necessarily would even want to do that. Given the Boo Fairy. Okay, the Boo Fairy's no longer on the board. Primate is possibly an issue. They can assault the stem, but they can't get onto it yet. This turn, anyway. I don't think there's any way this is enough damage, but we'll have to try. No, there's not enough. Just fine. So they can't actually step onto the stem yet. We're going to walk the spider up so we can start threatening some things. We have a panic point advantage for now. They collapse the cat. They killed our cat with this, and then we retaliate and kill this. I guess that's fine. If we get another 6 next turn, we could go for a Crushmore or Rambolina, as opposed to a 1 this turn, which would allow us to just have more board presence. I think we're going to go with this. They can still get the Cassowary. And I think we need the Cassowary for damage. This allows the Cassowary to walk onto the stem. Going second, is rushing hard ever an option on this map? I did that once. I didn't rush the heart, like, true all in, but I was able to park, like, a cassowary and a Rambolina over here, just because I was trying to cap these points, and then threaten Rambolina swinging up by, you know, like this choke point. And it worked out, but I think there was a lot of other things going on in that map. Primate is a Chad, it's true. Primate equals Rusher? Eh. That Ginseng's higher level than mine, I have a level 6 Snowball. Yeah, I think they have it, they're just choosing not to, for whatever reason. So we get a block here, which is kind of unique. I mean, not really. You get blocks going down over here as Gravedigger or something anyway, sometimes. So if they yoink here, it ends up here, they leap 1,000, 1,400. They should... 1417, though. Yeah, they can kill it. They can. This can get yoinked, but it would only be... only like 13. So that's okay, I think. We're gonna inch this up because we have the opportunity to. I would like to pressure them more. Maybe we swing this over here. They move the cat here and kill it. Nah, I guess that doesn't matter. I'm trying to get this cat to cap the top point, but I don't think they're going to let me do it. I don't think they're ever going to let me do it. So they're going to equalize the panic points down here with this guy. Possibly should have sent Cassowary up here too. Because then we can really push the cat away. Which the only goal here is to get that cat the hell out of there. So that way we can cap that point and then get back to a panic point advantage. Because it's going to take 100 years to reclaim this. We got a plain Hevo. Hevo 1.0. Hit things here with the spider. Or here. Like, this has to come back because this can pop over the top now. I guess this is fine. Just got Doomsday 2. Nice! Congrats! Congrats. They can yoink it from this spot. I don't think they can kill it, but I don't see a reason to expose it. We just need to get a panic point advantage. They can kill the snowball, they can. They can if they so choose. Looks like they're going to. They wanted it, they got it. The safer play, of course, is to put it here, because then they can't reach it, but I'll be honest with you, chat. I don't care. We're in that mode. I just don't care. And don't get me wrong, chat. You can call out the misplays. I'm not going to feel bad about them. This is the simplest way to put it. They pull it here. This hits. This hits. This hits. Hold on. We're going to do this first, because I do want to do this. The problem is they can kill the cat safely here. And we don't have a good way to reinforce this. So we go here, we pull this. Doesn't really help us. We're not accomplishing much here. I'm banking for Hevo, so that way I can kill this stupid Gesundheit. And then possibly recap these bottom ones. I think that's where we're going to have to take it. So the problem is this thing couldn't get in position in order to threaten this point at the same time. If I had thought about this more, I would have, when it came out of spawn, possibly put it somewhere else. Alright, that's obnoxious. We should have been working on this, too, just to clear it out. Because now they've sectioned off the map in a super annoying way. That's a Barzilla. That's a big boy. Big boy, chat. How are we going to deal with that? Because it's going to get on the stem. I guess we just yoink it, if it does. Well, we're going to kill their spider, that's first of all. It's Trogdor. Oh no, we can't hit their spider. Not from where we are. Can't be there either. Oof. Not looking good. How are we going to kill this thing, other than yoinking it, which I don't know if there's a good way to accomplish that. We're going to go with a displacement effect. I don't know that this is really what we want. The problem is they can swing down and cap this top one because I pulled the pterodactyl back. We should have put the pterodactyl here, because I don't think they can kill it. Now they can cap this safely. And then we're back to, like, fighting over the mid, but they have the advantage now. Barzilla might be my favorite Phobie to spawn, just a huge sponge of health. He is fun. For a big dummy, Barzilla is fun. So yeah, this is the problem here. Now we will be able to free this up and start laying into this guy, for what that's worth, I guess. I don't think you want to be there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, this will boop backwards. It should be dead. It should die to the boop. He said hopefully. Or we can just yoink it. Oh, you don't want to be there. I don't know if this Gesundheit will block for it or not, because they should both get booped by the AoE. Oh no, we can't reach it. We can't reach it, never mind. Because we can only get here, we can't actually get here. We'd end up in this spot. I think we still try to kill the Barzilla. I mean, we're not going to do enough damage. It has 3,200 health, for God's sake. It's pretty close. 201. We just can't quite get it. I think we still do this. If only you had paddles, exactly. If only I positioned my Phobies properly instead of being a dummy. I don't really want to do this. We're going to lose a bunch of stuff. This game is over, chat. I just threw. Boop and last hit with Cassowary. I can't get the Cassowary in position to do that. Because it won't be... Like, the Rambolino will be in this spot. If I booped first. Because, like, I could leap from this position to where the Barzilla ends up, but I wouldn't be able to actually do it. Barzilla gets booped to the panic point. Oh yeah, I could go in the spot where Barzilla was. That would have done it. I was looking at it like that it had to go here. But it will get displaced back to this, so that makes sense. That one I missed, chat. That one I missed. One of the problems playing tilted and tired. I mean, we get to do some potentially funny stuff here anyway. We'll see. Yeah, they got all of them. We're in bad shape on that front. Yeah, I guess this is the best option. Nope. Like, there's a couple of other things that I could have done with, like, Hevo, but I just don't care to figure it out. think my favorite streams to date have been Hunt ones. I've even rewatched them. I mean, Hunt is fun to play. It just can be exceptionally frustrating. I don't know. I haven't played Hunt since I streamed it the other day because I was taking a break. This is really bad. So this is dead. This could be dead. Depends on which one. I have 3 games with the same person. They all have level 9 plus Phobies. Oh my god. Just wait until you start seeing level 15 Phobies, Taco. Oh, chat. This was another winnable game that I just threw away. Nine plus seems to be the standard, but for sure it feels bad when you first made it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we don't have very many more turns where we can sustain this level of heart damage. This Hevo's basically untouched. That's not good. We're gonna die to this, I think. I think we die to the Jin Sting that's up there, truthfully, chat. Yeah, because we're gonna take, it's what, like 4, so 1,600 between the 2 turns, plus another 8, that's 24. We're dead. Like, I think we're actually dead this turn. Because I didn't go after this. If we left the Hevo, this would have lived. I got greedy here. But I think we just die. Game, please. Should this be here instead of hitting these? I guess this is fine. We have to leave these 2 here because if they ever back cap a point, we probably just die. I mean, we won't die immediately, but it's going to be close. Body block Jin Sting. So I chose not to. That might be the correct play, Onda, honestly. Can you block LOS of Jin Sting? It is possible if I do it with both of these. I mean, Bees is going to be online soon, but yeah. Or if it's not online now. So we could survive 2 turns of down 1 panic point, like 1 cycle. So I guess they're going to stall to get the heals back online. So we have to chase them down now. Because if the heals get back online and Barzilla can come back in, it's possible they rush. This is just going to be annoying, because now we have to worry about this thing back capping. No, we can't do that. We have to kill it with this. I was trying to see if there was a way to send this to go cap this. Maybe we send this after it? The reason I want to do this is it gives us a little more mobility. They're gonna get this heal off because there's nothing I can do to stop it in time. If we do this and hit Barzilla... I don't know, they might not have enough damage to actually kill all this stuff anyway. Because if anything approaches, this takes 2 turns and it's going to be in range of everything. This is their only damage output. This game is so scary. Alright, so one of the heals is online. I looked at it wrong. I thought it had another turn for this as well. Because didn't they do these on the... Do they have different cooldowns? That's problematic. I mean, this is in range, so we're just going to zap it. Now we have a panic point advantage, so I have some breathing room. Like, I can give up a panic point and not lose immediately. Not that we would lose immediately, but, you know. This is what I was kind of afraid of. That they can break this block and come after me on this front, which makes sense. It's going to take a few turns for them to do that, but we're gonna have to make something happen. The other annoying thing is that these can heal each other. So this dies to the Barzilla. Hold on, we're definitely doing this. Actually, wait, how much is this at? 23? This would be 7 and 8. It's only like 15. So yeah, we do this. Can we review this game? I mean, we could. Probably not tonight, but... So Dermic's heal is going to come online. I think I just have to play this cautiously. You're fighting someone with a level 15 jar? We all remember our first time, Taco. So we need to just pick off their various forces. And I think we can kill this. Yeah, we can kill this turn. And then reposition this. The Hevo. This is a good game to be analyzed. Is it, though? Because there was basically no thoughts going through my head at any point during this game. It was just doing things. So I don't know if it's really going to be a great game. Yeah, you can't put that in there. I will kill it and kill this. Because we send this in, we move this in, and then swing Jinsting down. At this point, it's just going to come down to me making an error for them to be able to actually still be in this game. But otherwise, this game is over. We don't even need the Jinsting. Still a chomp action. If the review is on the next day, I think it'd be useful. Really, any game that goes second win into this map. It seemed very well played. You guys are giving me way more credit than I deserve for this game. Way more credit than I deserve for this game. Innocuous on stim, shot Barzilla. I wanted to do that a couple turns ago. We just didn't quite get it set up in order to do it. So they have to hit this twice in order to kill it. And if they do, we hit it 6 times, so it's dead. And they can't kill this. They could kill this if they send in Dermic and attack. But then again, I'm getting 4 hits plus this. It's actually not huge value if they kill this. Hold on. This is happening. We can do this. We're just playing it safer. They could kill this, but then again, they're gonna get hit with a billion things. Leaving Hugo alive this long is big op gaming, true. I love seeing the omps. Chat, do you think we should leave it as omp, or should I make it, like, change the omp to look different? I don't know what I would change it to yet, I'm just asking. Like, is the ouch my phobies good enough as it is? We've chased them all the way in the corner. Leave it as op. Yeah, but I mean, like, should the emote look different other than just OMP? Should I make it look better, kind of thing? That is not what I meant to do. Opponent definitely thinks I'm BMing them. Chat. We actually won the one more game. We actually won the one more game, GG. That one, you'll have to remind me tomorrow, chat, to do the breakdown. Because I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating when I say I was just literally doing things. And that's not to denigrate my opponent in any way, like, oh, well, I didn't even have to think and I kicked their ass. That's not what I mean. I mean, I was just doing things. Pin the game. That's a good idea on it. Somebody tomorrow remind me to... No. I clicked the wrong thing. Remind me tomorrow to look at my own pin games or I'll forget to do that. There we go. In all seriousness, I wasn't really thinking about that game. If I had to venture a guess right now, what did they screw up? One, they didn't open Snowball. They obviously have it. Like, hold on, what stress level were they? 34? Well, maybe they're not. You get Snowball at level 40, don't you? Yeah, so they don't have Snowball. All right, problem number 1. Increase your stress level. 2, Barzilla. I don't think Barzilla did enough. But yeah, we can talk about the game tomorrow. I will be calling a night, an hour over. What are you going to do? We'll be back tomorrow. Probably starting early again tomorrow, unless, you know, something comes up. We're clearly going to do the pack opening video because we will be... Oh, I hit my goal for this too, so I don't even have to worry about that. Have a nice sleep. It's going to take me like another hour to fall asleep now because I'm kind of awake. I mean, I'm getting tired, but I'm not like sleeping tired. You know what I mean? I'm not sure of that double heal. Yeah, I don't know. We'll look at it tomorrow, but I agree with you. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing more Phobies. Maybe we'll play some variety. I don't know. We'll see how tilted I get. If you're not part of the Discord, !Discord in the live stream or in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the live stream, RTChompGG, over on Twitch. Of course, it'll also be in the description. Got to get those in while we can. The likes and subscribes absolutely help. Definitely always help. But for now, as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.